All right, we're getting started soon. Hit that like. Send up a signal flare to the interwebs, to the algorithm. Let Al go rhythm about the show. That's terrible. I don't even know what that was. Just ridiculous. All right. Everybody. Yeah, baby. Hey. Hey. That's right.
Captain's log.
It's good to be the king.
All I'm offering is the truth.
Hail to the king, baby.
The sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
All right, get that likes up. Get those likes up. I'm not going to do one of those things where I refuse to start the show till there's a certain amount of likes. I'm not going to do it. I'm just clicking around in the background. We're live on Instagram. Yes. Yes, it's up and running. Sometimes I forget to go back and do the third step because I'm in the busy. In the hizzy with the busy. All right, let's see if we can get going. All right, let's see. It's very exciting. What happens? What happens if I push this button?
Oh yeah, that's normal.
Okay, don't push that again. That's not right. What about this button?
Asshole.
Nope, it's not the one. It always tricks me. I think it's probably going to be this one. Hey, it is. Look at that. Welcome to the show. How are you? Good to see you. Hello. Hi. How's it going? Audio's good. Yes. Ooh, I seem very hot. I seem very loud. Am I loud? Is it okay? It's going way up into the. It says it's. I don't know which meter to trust. I need you to tell me. If I speak loudly and I get very excited, does it get too hot? Does it distort? Does it go into too hot? Too hot, lady, it's too hot. Gotta run for cover, gotta run for shame. It's too hot. Is it? If it's too hot, let me know. How was this Jeff Goldblum? I gotta say, this is good. We'll get to the show in a moment. But I need really long fingers for that. I bought some fake finger extensions, but I'll get, I have to paint them because they... Anyways, okay, here we go. Big show today. Too many clips to even begin to cover. So, first of all, let's go to chat room. Hi, chat room. Good to see you. How are you? Hello. We also have the ability, if I may, to jump in here. Hold on. Cat Road says Hal is too hot lady. It's too hot. But Charlie Baloo says I'm good. I don't even know what you're talking about. At any rate, this is good. This is good. This is the great thing about Goldblum is you don't even have to do his voice. I can do his voice. I'll tell you what the problem is. It didn't take you any effort to achieve it. Now you slap a label on a lunchbox and you want to sell it. Fine. Like, my favorite part is this weird hand thing he does. Like, make hand gestures that normal people don't make, and somehow that makes you more interesting on camera. I think that's the case. But this is one, the weird grippy tiger's paw thing that he does. I don't get it. It's very peculiar. But I digress. Mark, oh, come on. Happy birthday, Mark. That's not how it works. We're supposed to send you something. Ladies and gentlemen, a big happy birthday to Mark Kremer. Look at that. That's very sweet. My goodness. Hold on one second. Jeff Goldblum plays Jeff Goldblum in every movie. That's true. You won the lottery today. Well, all right then. Did you get one of those? Did you win money, or did you win one of those, like, another ticket, another lottery scratcher? Sometimes it happens. I see. It was an April Fool's. I get you. Everybody's super chats. They're gonna take them all back today. So I'm gonna get these really huge super chats, and then they're gonna file for a refund. Like a wah wah. Anyways, I'd like to first. I gotta say, when you're a comedian, April Fool's is it's a little bit like, as an actor, if you were on, like, Star Trek, and every time you go to work and you spend 3 hours in the makeup chair getting your Klingon forehead bump on, or they turn you into a Romulan or something like that, and then Halloween rolls around and you're like, all right, I did that. There you go. Kind of do that every day. Kind of like to play it cool, like lay low. Don't need to be I do that a lot, so it's kind of lost its magic. The same thing with being a fool, spelled with an E on the end, for a living. April Fools, and also spending a good part of my time with the occasional person not knowing when I'm joking, which is hilarious. That happened actually in relation, if you'll recall, I did, hold on, I'll show you. I did a little comedy joke, the comedy bits. I did a comedy joke on where I made a bunch of these using his Bible pictures. And that's Ivana's book, The Best Is Yet to Come. How ironic that as she was falling down the stairs somewhere in America, Kimberly Guilfoyle was yelling it to a large crowd. Talk about a QAnon thing. This one was also a good one. Melania's struggle. The life she never wanted. I wish the text on that was bigger. That's a Real Us Weekly. This one's the best one, I think, though. This one sums it up, I think. And this one's a little on the nose. But, oh shit, hold on. But, very telling. And looks a little too real, I gotta say. Of all the ones I made, because I didn't spend a lot of time on these, I figure if I make them sloppy, like good at a glance, but if you pay attention, you'll go, oh, okay, yeah, you can see his finger got sliced a little there because I had to cut the fingers out and then put them over top and all that stuff, right? If you really look, you'll go, oh, that's fake. All right, that's all you need. I don't need you to go, wow, that's super fucking convincing. I need it to just, you glance at it, you see it, it's a laugh, and then and then you bag, and then if you looked at it again, you're like, oh, I can see his fingers on something else, whatever. That one looks a little. That one was too fucking easy though. That one was pretty real. That said, when I put these together, the big story of the day, if you'll recall, was, and here I'll switch back to you guys so I can show you what the thing was over here at the Truth Social. Let's see if I can go into here. Let's go back to him, stupid. Okay. And you go to back to there, back to there, back to there, back to there. I don't know. Hold on. I think I have to go in through. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Let's see. Truth goes to Truth Social, and then I think I can log. I think I have the same login, whatever. It's ridiculous. Let's see, truthsocial.com. I think I just have to put my name in, right? Because I have a Truth Social account. Oh, you rat. Come on. Skip. Okay. I guess I have to go back to Trump's. Anyways, I spent the day posting those pictures on Truth Social. CSL is back. Yes, Can't Stop Lying is back, and he's easing in. Don't scare him off. He needs to relax. It's all right. Yeah, I'm totally secret MAGA. That's why I do it under my own name. That was the greatest thing about it. Is I opened account under my name. I'm like, all right, motherfucker. Thanks for giving me a venue to rain on your parade for free. Yeah. I mean, I don't use it very often. Today is the first time I've used it in months, literally. But I went on there and I just dumped those pictures. Anytime they were like, Joe Biden's a faker and I don't like him, whatever their fucking nonsense was. I jumped in there and just kind of, in some cases I wrote something. Most cases I just popped something like this in. The one I used this one was the one I used the most. This one I posted the most. I probably did this 8 or 10 times to Mark Levin and Sean Hannity and Trump himself. And I did Trump to Trump. I did all of them. And yeah, there's this one, and then there's of course this one. And then I managed to find a Kenny G picture. By the way, this is from Trump Marina. This is an actual performance at Trump Marina in the Grand Cayman. Yeah, the Cayman Islands, the money laundering place. Okay, Kenny G came down and did a little concert down there, and Trump loves him some Kenny G. So, this is probably the cruelest one I made. I gotta be honest. Mein Kampf is one thing, but to make a Kenny G autograph picture being held or whatever. Anyways, that's a real Kenny G autograph, though. I don't know who it's to. I think it is to Trump. But just putting that in his hands was probably the meanest one. Right. What happened to Kenny G? I don't know. He just this is a long time ago. I cut him some slack. This is well before, But this everybody poops. Everyone poops was a good one too. That one rocked. I used that one a bit. So, anyways, needless to say, I was like, everybody was talking about how little traffic there was over at Truth. So I decided to roll over there and, help them out a little bit. Now, oh, wait. On that note, hold on. Let's see. This has been pretty fun. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's open this up. Yeah, here you go. So, where you go? All right. This is, Trump Media and Technology Group started today at $69. No, $62. It was $61.97. $62. and it dropped to 48 just today. Now, my favorite part was the 48.86 at close. It had dropped $13/21% in a day. 21% in a day. But my favorite part, and I think you guys can see it, is the fact that it dropped 2% more after hours. Like the Dukes rolled in and went, oh, turn those machines back on. Sell, 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 right? So it's down to 47.73 in after hours trading. Yeah. And so this is the chart. The blue part, even though it's still going down from that part, there's less activity, but it's still drifting. Its lowest point today was 45.59. And it managed to recover, probably through a money dump from, foreign investors, trying to keep them afloat. And by the way, the longer they keep it afloat, the better. If Russians and Chinese, and I guess Saudis and whoever the fuck want to buy a bunch of his shit stock and don't know when to short it and get the fuck out, let them lose their money. I don't care. Yeah, it's going to go down again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be terrible. Tomorrow, what do you think? 30? I think it's going to hit 30 tomorrow. I don't rush out and put a short on it because I said so, but because I have no idea what they're... Because here's the thing. You can't actually predict any of this because it's not fucking based on anything. This company lost $58 million last year. Mark says 32.45. I think that's a good... watch it land right the fuck on that. Be amazing. You can't predict it because there's nothing to predict with. It's not worth... Here's the thing. It's not worth $2. It is fucking not worth it. You're not going to get a return on the investment for anything. It's not going up. It's not going to turn into something. It's not going to be the next Fox News. Or, shit. Can you imagine buying stock in Newsmax? You'd be a fucking lunatic. Same thing. So where the fuck is it going to... What are they going to make money on? Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see if I can find this. I did a... Yeah. Let's see. Is it still in assets? Did I put it in there? One of the weirdest fucking things was these Trump $2 bills that they were selling on there. And honest to God, I was like, hold on. I'll see if I can find it. It's so fucking weird. But that's one of the ads. Buy your commemorative Donald Trump $2 bill for fucking $5 or some shit. And you can't spend it. It's not currency, and yet some of them think it is. And how much money can you be? I'm sure these folks are making bank for what they're returning to these dipshits. But let's see. It'll probably Trump $2 bills. Yeah, Sarah. There's a bunch of them. Shit, there's not even just one. God damn, what an asshole. Here it is. From the National Collectors Mint. Ladies and gentlemen, the Donald Trump Never Surrender, with a picture of him surrendering, $2 bill. Yeah. 1995. These motherfuckers, they voted for a businessman because he was going to give them the business. And what's ultimately happened is that these dipshits are going to pay $20 for a $2 bill that you can't spend anywhere. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. Look away beyond the... All right. That's an actual song. That's an old bluegrass tune. You bet your ass it is, man. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill. $2 bill. Come on. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. Gave $20 to Donald Trump. What the fuck was I thinking? Amen. Shit. That's right. That's It's 22 plus shipping. Oh, that's a good point. You can only buy 5 of them at a time because they don't want to rush on these things. These are precious. God, oh, good God. Could it possibly get worse? Could it get worse? Could it get worse than the $20 for a $2 bill? You bet your fucking ass it could. You can buy 10 full color, never surrendered Donald Trump consecutive serial number $2 bills for $200, $199.50. Hey man, they're cutting you a 50-cent break there, man. Take them 2 quarters and put them on your eyes when you die, because somebody's going to have to bury your dumb ass in a burlap sack. Trump presidential $2 bill. This is the Still My President one, which technically speaking, he is not still president. Just for the record. Also, there's the Trump Save America $2 bill. I mean, this is only $14.95. Saving America is way cheaper than just his mugshot one, and then him at Mount Rushmore, but not actually. That's just a picture of Mount Rushmore, and there he is. That's not even a shot from Mount Rushmore. There are fireworks. This says Mount Rushmore right here. In case you don't know where they are, it says Mount Rushmore right there. And a coin. You get a coin. Look at that. And then the other side of the coin, what do they do? Just buy a dollar coin and then they just print on the top of it? Or do they fake the back of it too? I guess if you don't do the whole thing, it's not fake. Or it's not criminal, rather. Look at this. Deborah liked it, though. Fuck all y'all. Okay? Thank you very much. Look at Deborah, man. That the other day, I was like, we went out for drinks or whatever. She's like, let me pick up the tab. And I was like, fuck that. I don't want to go to jail again. Let me pay with real money. I got an EBT card that allows liquor. 100% of 5-star ratings. Look at that. 100% of customers rate this product 4 or 5 stars. Look at that. Bam. 1. Just Deborah. Fucking way to sell it, Deborah. Come on, man. Thanks, Deborah. Sell it. Sell it. Oh, God, this is, yeah. Anyways, so just so you know, these are the kind of, they run ads for this shit on Truth Social. Along with like free ivermectin, or fish tank cleaner that's cherry flavored. But that's you're not paying for you're not reaching a $6 billion valuation with ads like this. Fucking, there's still big movies and campaigns that are advertising on Twitter, and it's losing money like fucking crazy. So, anyways, let's just be abundantly clear. There is no there with this shit. Except, I guess, because it's funny. Now, I think if it stays above a certain point, like it stays above $25 or something, he gets more shares. But, yeah, he lost $1 billion today. Maybe, well, 2. I think this is an older story. Yeah. Does DJT stock hit turbulence, you think? All right, anyways. Let's get into this stuff, because we got too much to cover, and not any time to do it. Let me tell you, we don't have any... Guys, time's up. These are the end times. The Mayans were only off by, they forgot to carry the 2. And apparently, and if you don't believe me, I believe this guy. I mean, why do you even doubt at this point? Hasn't everything this man said come true already? I mean, why will this be any different? Look, don't let all the other failed promises trick you. That's how they get you. This is how they lure you into not thinking the end time's coming, and then you're going to forget to wear your cross that one day, and Jesus is going to go, I know you've lived a good life, and you've lived by my tenets even if you didn't announce them, but I'm going with the asshole with the jewelry who treats everybody like shit. Yeah, that's how it's going to work out. You really think you think you're going to be able to buy your way into fucking heaven with your lumpy pillows, asshole?
Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass.
No, how about you kiss something?
Asshole.
No, no, thank you. No. All right, so here we go. This is it's the end times. So this is from the Lindell report, so you know it's good. Here you go. Or maybe we don't just hit play. Why wouldn't it be like everything else in Mike Lindell's life? Just hit play and nothing happens. You have to hit play twice.
But the Halderman, this expert, he hacked in.
This expert. Don't run those together because it sounds like the sexpert, and that's the name of a movie I'm going to do. Sorry.
Into the machine right in front of her, right in front of the judge in 3 minutes and flipped all these votes. And you'd think that would be the #1 story in the world. But the only way people heard about it was all through these new social media platforms and stuff because.
Yeah. Also, real quick, where the fuck are you? What kind of what kind of safe house are you in? Is this where you hid that Peterson woman that was fleeing the feds for breaking into voting machines? Where the fuck? What kind of hyper generic? I guess it's a hotel. Is it a bed and breakfast? Are you? Did you sneak into another model home?
What's happened in our country, and I told our real president this. Here's a.
What's happened in our country, and I told our real president this. Just say Trump, asshole. You sound like a dick.
Bucket. Call this the bucket of common sense.
Uh-huh. And you use it to shit in, I guess, at this bed and breakfast. They give you a bucket of common sense every day and a giant ladle.
All politics, don't call it Democrat, Republican. Take that all out of there. Everybody is jumping into this bucket of common sense.
That is a really weird analogy, buddy. They are jumping into the bucket of common sense and out of the bedpan of ideology.
And why? It's more because of all the bad things that are going on.
That's right. It's all the bad things, like below 4% unemployment and the stock market going up the way it is, and people's IRAs going up, and real wages growing, and having the economy still being so hot that the Fed can't even lower interest rates because there's still too many people getting jobs and being hired, and yeah, those terrible things. Oh, the infrastructure bill getting passed, and I say that kind of thing.
Where people are jumping in this bucket. It's kind of like the Jesus Christ bucket.
It is true. It is, now that you bring it up, sure. It is a lot like the Jesus Christ bucket. If you really, that's how I look at it. I don't know. It's, and that was, I gotta say, probably one of the most touching sermons I've ever heard was, the Jesus jump into my bucket sermon. What the hell? The Jesus Christ bucket. Oh.
They're jumping and people don't look to Jesus when things are going bad.
I think what he means is that's when they only go to Jesus when things are bad, because people are only ask for help when they're never mind.
I mean, when things are going good.
Right, yeah, not good, bad, good. You don't, who needs Jesus when things are good? Who wants to be grateful to their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Well, only bother him when you need something, like an asshole. That's the thing about maggots. That's what he's trying to say. He's not talking about us. He's talking about Republicans. He's talking about maggots in particular. They elected Donald Trump. They don't give a shit about Jesus. But now that he hasn't been, reinstated, and all the QAnoners are still waiting for the fucking storm or whatever. Now, obviously, now they all are up in Jesus's grill or down in his bucket.
They look for Jesus when things are going bad. They're praying and they're jumping in this bucket and they never get out.
I owe Ozzy Osbourne an apology. I don't know if you're familiar with the Ozzy Osbourne interview for the Moscow Music Peace Festival, but one of my favorite interview things ever. Very poignant, very thoughtful from Ozzy, but just came out sounding stupid, which is like, you come over here and let people, in the States and over there, we get mad, we order the pizza. It's supposed to be only 30 minutes and it's been 35 minutes. We get all upset and we're like, over here, they're still waiting for their pizzas. Yeah. So, as an analogy goes, both terrible and I get where he was going. Thank you. Yes. I see what you're saying. Yes. We take what we have for granted, the ease, the comfort. Yes. And these other folks over here are still indeed waiting for their pizzas. Meanwhile, Ozzy, you're off the hook. Mike Lindell has I guess, thrown us all in the Jesus bucket, and we will never, ever get out.
Common sense. And why? It's more because of all the bad things that are going on, where people are jumping in this bucket. It's kind of like the Jesus Christ bucket. You're jumping in. People don't look to Jesus when things are going bad. When things are going good. They look for Jesus when things are going bad. They're praying and they're jumping in this bucket and they never get out.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Can we, chalk that. Can someone write that down and, I don't know, wipe their ass with the paper and then set it on fire? Because I don't know what the hell.
So we're in the greatest revival in history for Jesus Christ. That's a beautiful thing. And I tell people.
Why would that, based on you're just going with the bucket. You're just going with the bucket thing. That's what we've been missing. All these other revivals they've had over and over again, they never stuck because they didn't have a bucket. Happy Easter, everybody. Motherfucker.
We're in a win-win situation.
Yeah, you totally are. You look like you're in a win-win situation. You actually look like you're in your ex's house and you didn't realize she'd moved out when you snuck in the window.
If everything I'm fighting for, if we don't save our country, it's the end times. We all go to heaven as believers. It's a win-win. Everybody's.
Wait a minute. You think that Jesus's return is hinging on American politics? Really? You don't think they had some rough and tumble politics over the last couple of centuries that might have, this goes one way.
Got to embrace it. We're in the greatest time to be alive. And
Please, why can't someone at this moment just like open that door behind him and go, are you checking out? Because we have to turn over the room. I don't know what they told you downstairs, but we do not rent by the hour. Is that crack? That's crack. I smell. Get your shit.
People earlier in the show, when I said, people come up to me all the time and say, Mike, this doesn't feel like grace. I prayed and this didn't happen and this didn't.
Yeah, but they are lame. Those people, tell them to fuck off, Mike. They don't know. You know. You can tell them.
Happen. And I said, oh, but it is grace. It's just.
And they cut out the part where they went, how, motherfucker, how. You know what, editor, cut out the part where I told you what they said back to me, because they called me and I was like, I didn't want to really say it. And then they got up in my face and they're like, you and your fucking lumpy pillows.
Pillows, kiss my ass.
You know.
Evil wants that. That's why they're attacking me. That's why they're still attacking me. And
they're still attacking. You're still attacking everybody else. You're still attacking the election. You're still attacking Dominion. You're still attacking actual voters. You're still attacking over half the country, half the voters, the 81 million that didn't vote for your guy with this whole real president shit. You're attacking them. You started a fucking network to do this, dummy. The rest of us can't do that. I got my little upstart program here, but I can't hire some dickhead to rifle through my pockets and, have increasingly more expensive silk ties over a year and a half and take your money and turn it into a net. Well, I don't know that I'd want that, actually.
August, I came up with a plan. God gave me a download of a plan.
Did he? Was it on a thumb drive? Was it in your ass? Was it an alien? It was an alien, wasn't it?
And I announced it in August. This
Oh, yes, we remember.
plan to secure our elections, and that they turned up the heat. They've attacked my pillow worse than they've ever been attacked. They've tried.
No, not really. Not just the case just moved further. It's the same thing. Just this is how like court cases work. They get worse and then they either get terrible or completely better. You either win or lose. But leading up to it, it's nobody made you default on your fucking rent.
To attack me. This has been the worst attack, and obviously it's not because I want to overturn the 2020 election.
Well, you can't. Sure, you want to.
Donald Trump's well ahead in any poll to win the next election. So why is Mike Lindell still fighting, and why do they still care about what I say?
Well, I mean, I think because you're constantly filing fraudulent legal briefs and shit like that and wasting everyone's time and big upping people like Carrie Lake and their bullshit.
Don't want these machines gone, everybody. They want these computers to stay in place.
Yeah, but that's how they're counted, not how they're cast.
Uniparty, deep state globalists, the evil.
Ooh, the uniparty deep state globalists. He's been hanging around with what do you think, Mike Flynn again? It rolled right off the tongue. There was no break in that at all.
It's out there. This is where it's at. There's no other reason that they would be attacking me now.
Oh, I can think of a lot of reasons too. I mean, I think largely just to laugh at your reaction. That's plenty, right? I don't need more than that. Okay, and by the way, this is not his only message for you. No. He got evicted from one of his warehouses because they weren't paying rent. He owed $200,000 worth of rent. He tried to pull an Elon Musk is what he did. It was like this, yeah, well, fuck you. But in San Francisco, they're having a real issue with commercial real estate. But in Minnesota, they're like, get out of here. This is it. We can rent this to somebody else. Shoo. There it is. This is him, Mike Pillow, CEO, Mike Lindell, CEO of My Pillow, for what it's worth.
Mike Lindell. Mike, I had Carrie Lake on here because.
Yes, of course you did.
They're trying to bury her, and of course she's firing back, and she's got the plan, and she's doing something smart.
What would that be? What would be the thing she's doing that's smart? I mean, I haven't seen it. I just don't know. I've seen all of what she's done lately. I've seen every filing she's done, and I've seen most of her appearances on television, honestly. And I don't know how I missed the smart thing, but apparently I did.
Brother, all night long, all I'm hearing is Mike Lindell's in bankruptcy. I mean, Chris Hayes had such a great last night, and Joy Ann Reid, because they had Carrie Lake and they had Mike Lindell to bury, and John Eastman. It was a big day for them.
Yep. Yeah. I think they had a lot of stuff to cover. It was one of those like told you so moments. Those are fun.
But are you going bankrupt? Are they seizing all the buildings over at My Pillow?
No, and you guys, this is regurgitated news. Last year
It's regurgitated.
We had one warehouse. I have many buildings in Shakopee, Minnesota, and this was
do you? Well, shit.
a warehouse we sub-rented to a candy company. They moved out in December. A new company was moving in that sold sugar beets, and
oh yeah, you don't say. You mean one of those like companies that sells ads on shows like Steve Bannon's? Weird.
and they pulled out at the last minute. So
Not saying a thing. Stop it. Stop it. Audience, stop it. Stop it.
This news goes out there. It's an empty warehouse, and I worked it out with the landlords, and they said, you know what?
Did you though?
If you guys just get out of there, it's easier for them to get a renter than it is for us to get a sub-renter. We had that. It's just an empty warehouse. There's no employees, and we haven't been in there for a year, everybody. So we're not.
Yeah, I feel much better about the whole thing. Where can I buy stock? Thanks, Steve. Steven Sayers, everybody. Hold on, I gotta scroll this down so I don't miss out. Yeah. So wrong. Just so. I'm the pull-out king. Yeah. Thanks, Cold Duck Soup. Thank you. It's a good piece of advice. It really is. Oh, we definitely have a dispute in the chat. Yeah, that was the point, though. But Mikey didn't pay the bill of $250,000. That's exactly it. Just fucking gibberish.
Going anywhere, and that's because of the War Room Posse, you guys. And I'll tell you, I wanted to put the robe back on, Steve. We had yesterday, this is exclusive to the War Room Posse.
Oh, God, no. I don't know what you're going to show us, but I'm not interested. This is what happens on those Zoom calls before somebody gets fired from CNN. I'm not, no.
Bathrobes.
Oh, God.
It's an open box special right from our outlet store.
An open box. So these are all the returns. So you're pushing used bathrobes sent back by maggots. Good Lord. I mean, you could probably, if you sniff the fucking sleeve, you'll probably get an oxy buzz. Oh, that's it. That was the whole thing. I thought that was going further. It literally is the end. They just cut him off. So, yeah. So, needless to say, barf. Now, there's a lot to cover here. Not the least of which is, I have to say, okay, full disclosure, I kind of don't have a problem with Lee Greenwood in the abstract. I don't have a problem with the song itself, although I find it very odd that he's cool with Trump using it, because the whole, I'd proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today, when Trump faked having bone spurs and told all of his kids that he'd disown them if they joined the military, right? Hey, Petrazi. Oh, God. Anthony, Jesus Christ. That's what they pulled out on. Ah! Oh, it's so gross. But in the meantime, if I may, I don't have a problem with Americana and nostalgia in that way. I just like the weird fucking hypocrisy of it is what kind of seems weird to me. You know what I mean? It's like Christians who support Trump, and the whole Bible thing is really fucked up, considering his grab him by the pussy thing. He doesn't know anything about the Bible. He's never fucking read the thing. He's not going to. But I will say this. Prepare yourself. I don't even know how to get you ready. I don't have even a bumper for this. It's just going to be, just hang on to your hat. Shit. Lee's looking rough. I don't know. Dude looks like he has gills. This is, all I'm saying is next time, Lee, let him powder you. Because holy shit. Honestly. So, and he and I are the same age. That's going to be the running gag from now on, because I'm older than Alex Jones. So, yeah. Looks like surgery? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it just looks fucking skinny and dry. It's just not good. But anyways, this is Greenwood. Trump will make America pray again. So he's on Newsmax trying to sell these fucking Bibles. Let's hear it.
From Trump, but I did get it as a result of the person who created.
Hold on.
Make America pray again.
Prayer is so important. I don't do it, but some of the weaker people, yeah, he's 81. It's fine, but it's like that's rough. So, good Lord.
Well, that comment as part of his Truth Social also included some endorsement of a Bible. I have a
It really well put together, ma'am. Really excellent work. Excellent.
copy of it right here. I didn't get it from Trump, but I did get it as a result of the person who created it. It was a very
As a result of the person who created it. You mean from? You mean from he gave it to you, or he handed it to from? From is a hard word at this point? Fucking hell.
very special project by musical icon.
Oh, look at that. And he even autographed it. And, he wrote, oh, no, wait. No, I thought he did that. That's actually the handwritten lyric that he writes in the thing. And, yeah.
Singer Lee Greenwood, of course, his beautiful song, God Bless the USA, is his walk-on song when Trump comes on to rallies. We are so honored.
Really? Is it? I didn't realize that. You'd think I'd have gotten a copyright strike or some shit from that song always playing when he comes on early on, so I had to dump out. I got to listen for it next time. I hadn't noticed.
Right now that Lee Greenwood himself will join us here to talk about some of the backlash we saw from this announcement. Lee, first of all, I thank you so much for the signed copy you sent me when you came.
The nicest thing about Lee Greenwood is that he sits on the other side of his couch, and that takes some, you know what I mean? That's a man of fortitude. Is it just me? Hold on. The cushions are on the other. Why are you? The cushions. Why are we seeing the back? Why are you hiding behind the couch? Who's coming into the room, Lee Greenwood? Are you teensy-tiny? Are you standing? Are we all finding something out about Lee Greenwood right now? He's just squatting on, yeah. He's on a porta potty. He's on a baby pot.
Announcement. Lee, first of all, I thank you so much for the signed copy you sent me when you came on a few months ago. I use it all the time. It's with me.
You use it. You use it? You mean as a prop? Other people read their Bibles, but if you were using it, I suppose holding it up on camera or taking pictures of it or doing performative Christianity, that would be using it. It's a good point or whatever. Unless, of course, you know, you get really excited by the Lot's daughter story.
It's with me on Palm Sunday. It's a beautiful Bible because it incorporates not just gospel, but also, you know, all the important documents, you know, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. It was a unique thing.
Yeah, the Apple iTunes terms of service. Like, yeah, we get it, lady. He took a bunch of, Trump and Lee Greenwood have taken a bunch of public domain documents and packaged them and sent and used that to make money. The contents of the Bible are free to anybody who wants to print them, as are all of those documents. That's why.
President Trump realized it, put it out there, Holy Week. Why do you think there was such backlash?
Because he's never read the Bible and he doesn't understand the concept of prayer, and you can tell. And he's even said he would have nothing to ask forgiveness for or to repent for, which is one of the primary tenets of Christianity, and somehow he just missed that whole part.
Oh, I think it's just from the Trump haters. I don't even believe people on the left hate religion. I think this is just a Trump.
You're right, we don't. As a matter of fact, those of us who appreciate it for its value genuinely are disgusted probably more by him than other people who, you know, like friends of the show like Tara, who just view the whole thing as a mess. Some of us actually think it's got some worth, and it's even more fucked up that he's using it the way he is.
Trump haters is all. And we've been promoting this Bible for over 3 years.
Yeah, but you didn't bring him on until he was like a week away from a hush money trial where he paid a porn star to hide an affair from his wife and the voters in his campaign. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's really, I don't think it has much to do with actually like if he'd have done it 3 years ago, it'd been weird and people would have questioned the whole like Access Hollywood thing. But now, especially,
So, because the president has also asked the nation to pray and use that particular Bible. I mean, he
which is weird.
could have used any Bible at all, but
That's true, but he uses this one because the pages are really strong and it's flame retardant.
because it has the documents of our founding fathers, I think that makes it unique.
It's not unique. It might be singular, meaning, but there are other Bibles that contain those and have over the years. But this one's just the first one where you put the fucking folded flag image on the front of it, which is also what pissed people off.
And I do have my own signed copy from him, by the way.
Oh, that's nice. So both of the authors. That's cool. That's cool. Did you write like 1 Corinthian and he wrote 2 Corinthians?
Which I have right here.
That's so great. So this is the magic one. He signed the centerfold.
Signed one and sent it to me. I'm glad you have the Bible I sent to you, and thank you for your kind note as well to me for receiving the Bible.
Uh-oh. Satan's moved in. Satan has shut off the video, obviously. Or if it's not Satan, it's God's plan. It's God's plan that his camera went dead just then. Obviously, God is a little miffed to even let this happen. Obviously, he could rein in the devil when he wants to, but he just chooses not to.
I'm so
Oh, God. Satan, stop stepping on the cord.
proud of the president for stepping forward and saying that he believes in God. He's a Christian.
No, it's not enough to say it. Anybody can say it, dummy. The Antichrist will say it. You know what? Funny thing is, some people will even talk about like Trump trying to, say he's the chosen one and all this stuff. He's doing this like Antichrist cosplay for these dumb motherfuckers. But you know how I know he's not the Antichrist, at least in the format and the way that he will arrive according to the Bible, is that the Antichrist knows the Bible backwards and forward, can quote scripture, knows all of the teachings, and clearly no one here is the Antichrist. None of these 3 people. If any, he's probably the closest, should come in second, and he's dead fucking last. There's no way. He has no shit.
And this nation still should be praying for our country.
Right. And I appreciate him trying to be, besides the whole Trump hater bullshit. Yeah.
We certainly need it. We know it's Holy
He's trying to be at least, a little bit balanced in it. We all need the same order.
Week. Tomorrow, Good Friday, the crucifixion of Jesus. And
yes, Good Friday, the day of the crucifixion, the day you can be absolutely certain was not named by Jesus. It was not, because I'm just saying, even though the purpose was good, I don't think he would have called it that. I think he would have, Good Friday would have, Good Friday, huh? Good, is that what we are? Good Friday? It's kind of, because from my perspective, it kind of sucks, I gotta say. It's a little, how about Sucky Friday? How about last Friday, since I'm leaving this fucking place? This is ouch.
I think a lot of people are hoping that if people, maybe heard the president's comments about the Bible, maybe
his comments,
maybe there's a glimmer of hope, because maybe some people will be called back to their faith, Lee.
Not from him. Not from that.
I'd like to think that there is still, the shred.
You got to get the Bible and you got to jump into the Jesus bucket. Listen to Mike Pillow. Jump into the Jesus bucket. You'll never get out. That's what I've heard. That's why I avoid it. I guess anyway. I just, $60. It's a steal. Literally, we stole a bunch of Gideon Bibles and then just put a new cover on. And those little books of the Constitution they hand out when you take a tour? I had boxes and boxes of those right next to, I stuffed classified documents in between them, but we took out those. We just stuff them in a Gideon Bible, slap on a new cover that Lee prints in his garage, and, so good, so Jesus-y, like the bucket.
Of decency in man. How optimistic are you when we come into Easter week on, what many say is we need to come together as one nation under God, like the founding fathers wrote, and not be so divided?
They didn't write that. That was they didn't write the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm just saying it wasn't in there.
Divided because at the end of the day, we are all here and we are all Americans.
Well, except all those fucking illegals, right? You suddenly forget about them. I mean, honestly, we got to do something because they're here, and then they've but the walls and wheels.
Well, Bianca, I actually will have my family here. Our 2 sons will be coming in from Chicago and Miami and spending
So you have 4 sons, okay?
the Easter holiday with us at home here in Nashville, Tennessee.
I see. So we should buy our tickets now. What? They're leaving. I guess they're leaving Chicago and Miami, which are dens of iniquity.
And we will be going to our church as well to.
I see. It's in Nashville, so it's a good one. Good Southern church. To
also celebrate the Easter weekend and the fact that He is risen, and this nation needs to recognize that again, like we always have. And don't forget, that's how this country got started. They didn't come here to discover America to get away from religion. They came here to get away from the King of England, who was telling them what religion to be in. So I'm just.
Yeah, that was the Pilgrims, and that was definitely a huge part of it. No doubt. But Columbus and especially the Spanish, the Spanish were on a Catholicism delivery mission. I mean, honestly, step aside Mormons, because nobody that watches this thinks that Spanish is the indigenous language of South and Central America, do you? Do you? Really? Some people actually think that. Like, I speak Spanish because of my Mexican heritage. Well, okay, sure. Well, I speak English because of my Native American heritage. Right? That would be the thing.
Hopeful that this nation rises.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spain is in Europe too. Still, even to this day.
Up and understand, with a little faith, follow the pathway of our Lord, our Savior, we'll be just fine.
We will be just fine. Thank you, Lee Greenwood. And we'll be just fine. Excuse me, I have to run. I just came up with a new song idea, or whatever. And I proudly walk, and stand up. We'll be just fine. And no, shit. I'll work on it later.
Amen. Lee Greenwood, great to have you in. Thanks for your thoughts.
He wasn't in. You're doing this remote. He's in Nashville. He wasn't in. He's not. Well, unless you're talking. Never mind.
Full comments today, and I'm going to say congratulations. It's a beautiful project, and if people don't know about it, it really is. It's a special idea, and the power of prayer is so important. Thank you for your time.
Yes, the power of prayer is so important, and that's why your sons have to come from Miami and Chicago to Nashville and go to your church. Otherwise, their prayers will not be heard. I mean, it's obviously the Chicago wind blows everybody's fucking prayers out over Lake Michigan, and you're like, where'd my prayers go? And you're like, oh God, they're on their way up to heaven, and then just the wind comes in Chicago, thing. And then Miami, like I've prayed in Miami and seen a seagull just grab my prayer right out of the fucking sky. I was like, hey, I'm trying to get to make my flight, and you just took my dear Lord, please help me with the traffic prayer. Just the bird just sniped it out of the fucking sky. Golly. But Nashville's good because they have one of those like God terminals in their church. You just go to it's right in the middle of Nashville. And they got like this God satellite dish, and you stick your head into this little crown-shaped thing or whatever, and you just think real hard, and it goes straight to Jesus. Oh, dear. Look, okay. Again, I'm not going to question anybody's faith in these situations. As we say in Masonry, everyone's entitled to their own unique mistake. God is far too big a concept to fit into the human corpus callosum, and if we could perceive it, we would die. So anybody who tells you they've got the through line, they're the ones who actually get to speak directly to the Lord, are full of shit. Let's see. By the way, if I may, speaking of full of shit, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, by the way, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. Welcome. Now, this is Shart Levin. And Shart here is on Fox sometimes and Newsmax the other. It seems to be just a have background will travel show. I don't quite know what the schedule is. It's very odd. But this Life, Liberty, and Levin, Mr. Producer, thing, what am I, how am I to, how could I question such a manly and forceful human being with a deep and powerful voice? I don't know how long this one is, so we might not do the whole thing. But apparently, he's challenging Biden, Obama, and or AOC to a friendly interview. So, what, Comer wasn't available? You're just running out of dipshits to talk to? Oh, it's only a minute. Oh, well, I guess he doesn't have much to say. By the way, Mark, I'll gladly come on your show and set you straight. I think you're lazy and mean. It's a terrible combination.
Welcome back, America.
Calm down. There's 340 million of us, and we're not all watching ever. Matter of fact, not even a plurality. Not even a majority of a minority are watching you.
The 9 of the top 10 wealthiest counties in America are represented by Democrats.
Communists. That's why. Communists. I think it's commies. I think that's what it is. Yeah, the commies have just taken over. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. It's also where all the crime is. But it's also where all the coffee is. And theaters. And where all the sex is happening. Just saying. The good sex, anyways. Not that sex is really bad wherever it happens. But, there's a sliding scale. Sorry.
64% of the poorest counties in America are represented by Republicans. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. And I also know that if you cut all those programs you want to cut, it isn't going to hurt Democrats. They have enough state tax to cover a lot of their people. The reason they need state and why they need higher state taxes is because all their federal dollars go to all the red fucking states, dummy.
The reason the Democrats are able to raise so much money is because the corporatists and the billionaires stand with them, with some exceptions.
The good ones, yeah, the good corporatists and the good billionaires obviously go with you guys, both of them. None of them are natural-born citizens or Americans. It's weird that.
And they want to raise so much money like we've never seen before because they know their candidate has problems speaking.
Well, he has a stutter. That doesn't bother me.
Because they know what we know. That he
do they? We know that Donald Trump is a rapist and a pussy grabber and disgusting and buried his fucking first wife and the mother of the majority of his children on a golf course with no headstone and nobody knows why because she was cremated and yet there's a giant coffin that was very heavy and was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 decades and only kicked him to the curb because Jeffrey Epstein cost him $10 million in a real estate deal that he thought was a shoe-in so that he could buy it on the cheap and sell it to a Russian oligarch who just bulldozed the property anyways, or is it because he's a fucking crook? That part
shouldn't be anywhere close to the White House, let alone in the Oval Office. But I want to invite now publicly.
Uh-oh. He's throwing down the gauntlet. Here it comes.
President Biden to come on this program.
Yeah, me too. Hey, I guess you never hear a yes if you never ask the question, so fuck it. Joe, I would love to have you on the show. I really, really would. And Kamala Harris, Doug first, second husband, I'd love to have you on, the second gentleman. Jill Biden. Fuck, Hunter, come on, man. We'll have a laugh. I guarantee you. They're just, come on in. And by the way, look, Mark, you and I are in the same situation. We both have an equal chance of that happening, which is never.
For a friendly interview, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Chuck Schumer. Anthony Blinken, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders.
Henry Winkler, Georgia O'Keeffe, the Mandrell sisters. Fuck, I bet you could get Lee Greenwood, now that I think of it.
Hakeem Jeffries.
No, probably not.
AOC, the whole crowd. Just one of you.
Yeah, none of them are interested. They don't think it's that whole like weird American Marxism thing you keep pushing, and I think they're worried about being on a show like yours because it looks like they're supporting it. You're selling a book called American Marxism, which sounds like, your attempt at turning America into a Marxist nation, and I don't think they want to sit near you when you're holding up a book like that. It just seems, it's just bad optics. Dummy.
Take me up.
Take me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo.
Promise you, I'll be nice. I'll see you next time on Life, Liberty, and Levin.
That was his closer. He's been waiting to say that one. That's it. Yeah, that's very exciting. Yeah, never happened. Never not gonna happen. Never fucking gonna happen. You're a lunatic and you're very silly. You're a silly person. By the way, on a side note, if I may. Oh, thank you, JD Christie. By the way, super chats are always helpful. So are stars if you're on Facebook, and of course, just like and subscribe if you don't think I've made you laugh and it's worth $1, then just do the free stuff. Share out the show. Hit that like right now and let people know we're live, because good Lord, there's a lot of people in here. Oh my God.
Even outside, it's packed.
I know. It's like the whole internet is waiting to get into our chat room. It's crazy. How did this even happen? I don't even know. I do have Cash App. That is true, Coretta, but I don't have it up on this page because I rebuilt this and I didn't do it. Because I'm silly. I'm a silly man. So here we go. Get ready for some unfunny. Just get the fun sucked right out of the... Yeah, here it is. That's guy. Greg Gutbuster. There he is. He's going after... Trump promotes the God Bless the USA Bible. Now, here's... old Greg's in a... I'm old Greg. Old Greg is in a tough spot, I think. Because... Oh, shit. Hold on. Well, I'll see. I don't want to talk. There's only a couple moments, but he looks like a happy guy.
Video of the day comes to us from President Trump, who recently teamed up with Lee Greenwood to create the God Bless the USA Bible.
No, he didn't. The Bible's been around for like 3 years. He just signed a licensing deal with Lee Greenwood to start selling it. Lee Greenwood has been selling this Bible in one form or another for fucking 3 years. Trump's edition is new.
Roll it.
Proud to be partnering with my very good friend Lee Greenwood. Who doesn't love his song, God Bless the USA?
All right. Even if you're pretending to be a comedian, like Gutfeld is, you have... This has got to make you laugh. Because this is fucking ridiculous. Like, the first time we watched this, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hold it together if he plays the whole fucking thing. Good
In
Lord.
connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. Religion and Christianity.
Oh, they're having to cut out a bunch. Oh, thank you, Al Power. Thank you so much.
Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country. And I truly believe that we need to bring them back, and we have to bring them back fast. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have. That's why our country is going haywire.
They cut out so missing.
Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many.
Many. Whew. Why is it? Why? Because, I'll tell you why. Because people gift them to him all the time. I bet that's what it is. I bet he's got a fucking room full of Bibles. I'm sure 10% of them are like, could you sign my Bible? And I have one for you. That this is in our family forever, and you should have our family Bible. It's over 200 years old. It came from a Mayflower. You know, we don't know exactly, but here, this is, you know, it's a family. There's nothing left. Our family don't talk to me anymore. So it's yours. Take this thing and don't just, if you sell it on eBay, just don't tag me. That's wonderful. And, you know, that's 10% of them. 90% of the people walk up and go, here's a, I don't know if you've seen this version of the Bible or whatever. Maybe you'll fucking read it this time.
It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book. We love God, and we have to protect anything that is.
We love God. We love anything so God. It's just so God, the whole thing.
It's pro-God. We must make America pray again.
They're freezing on him. He looks scared shitless. Don't fucking pretend like you think this is legit.
Got a lot of Bibles in his house, but he's got a point. America under Joe Biden has most of us on our knees.
Sucking off Trump? Is that what you mean? Everybody at Fox? What?
We actually reached out to Trump for comment to hear more about his thoughts on the Bible. And he got back to us, I think. I wonder what he thinks about Adam and Eve.
Frankly, as far as Adam and Eve go, I would never take fruit from a naked woman, especially Stormy Daniels. Also, I don't eat fruit. I think it's very nasty. Diet Coke, that's a different story. They say, sure, we love the Diet Coke.
Okay, this is somebody on their staff that does a copy of the version of Trump that the guy on Saturday Night Live does. This is an AI. This is somebody in the office reading this. It's not Greg, because he can't do anything. This is goofy as fuck.
I'd take a Diet Coke from Nancy Pelosi, frankly, even though she's a nasty, nasty woman. Did you see that picture of her in a bikini? So nasty. I think she had 2 Diet Cokes stuffed into that bathing suit, if you know what I'm saying, frankly. I mean, that could have made Lazarus return from his grave.
Lazarus? Actually, it's probably now that I think about it, it's probably dead on what Trump would say. He'd probably pronounce Lazarus.
All right. What about Moses?
By the way, Lazarus was the name of Frances Steenburgen's character in Outland. And I gotta say, like, she's just lovely. I miss Frances Steenburgen and stuff. She was so cool. Just saying.
Moses, let's talk
Oh my God. They're just filling time with this shit.
about Moses. Moses wandered the desert for 40 years. That didn't happen to me in Scottsdale because I learned to play golf so good, frankly. His supporters, think of it, worshipped a golden cow. They say, sir, a golden cow. I bet they love the view, right? No offense to the view. I'm sure they're lovely to some, but frankly, fat women just aren't my type. What can I say? Talk about a view. That's a view. Really, a panoramic. You got to do wide angle. We got Easter coming up. He has risen. He, she, they, them has risen. It's all woke. I don't think these women could rise out of a chair. They need a...
Okay. The laugh track is... you need to mix it a little lower, and then you got to stagger it a little bit so it sounds at least baseline human.
forklift, frankly, or a crane, I think.
Can't say I disagree. All right.
Is that one of the guests? Is that the idea?
What about Noah? Any thoughts on him?
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, I love Noah. I had a great call with him, perfect phone call with Noah today. I see problems before they happen, but I have a bigger boat, frankly, much bigger. But there's no...
Yeah, he does, actually. It was used by one of his Kazakhstan partners as a floating brothel for underage girls. Yeah, that happened. You think these assholes know that? They probably do.
No live animals on mine, except for when I want fresh veal. So fresh, I love fresh veal. They say, sir, that's going to make the animal rights people go crazy. Sir, they already are crazy. You know, probably, frankly, because they don't get enough meat.
Okay, first of all, Trump does not eat veal. Yeah, seriously. He's got like the most trailer park fucking taste in the world. He's a toddler.
They have no nutrients. They're pencil thin, just like Adam Schiff's neck. Pencil neck.
All right.
Oh, it's so. Sometimes it's just too funny. You know, I find that sometimes it can be like, oh, maybe this is too funny.
I think that was Tyler Fisher doing it.
Oh, my God.
Wonderful. There he is, the little guy. All right, Dagan.
Really? That guy's making pencil neck jokes? Come on. Secondly, that was terrible. That didn't sound like Trump at all. Like, you can get away with a Trump impersonation if you're physically there and you're doing the gestures and people get it, and you do the accordion hands and the, leading out, push the button, that kind of thing. And people will let it go if the voice is somewhere in the ballpark. But if it's just audio, you gotta fucking nail it. This is just shit. Also, by the way, he's wearing a rainbow tie because he was out, like, punking LGBT people for a segment for them.
What do you think of Trump selling the Bible? It's very Trump.
Well, one, it causes the Biden supporters and all the left-wing bags to kind of own themselves because they're trying to make fun of him.
Yeah, it's not hard. Try not making fun of him. That's the worst.
For selling Bibles.
Uh-huh. Not just Bibles. Also, I thought he was a billionaire, so why would he give Bibles away? If you're a billionaire, just saying, wouldn't you make a donation to a Bible printing company and go, this is a Bible, I'm not taking a dime for this, I'm paying for the printing of 1 million Bibles so we can get these out, and that's it, whatever, and we've worked out this deal with them, and it's the special Trump when you can pick it up or whatever, and with it has a card in it. If you mail it in, you'll get another Bible because we believe in passing forward the word of our Lord. And I'm bullshitting you, it's $60 plus shipping.
And instead, they're mocking the Bible.
No, they're not. They're not mocking the Bible at all. And by the way, if they were, Trump can't even get upset because he wouldn't know it. You could make up Bible verses to his fucking face, and he would go, I know, my favorite, that's my favorite one. I mean, it's hard to say favorite one, but, blessed be those who wear sandals without socks on a cold day, that's the new international version, obviously.
And so, also, what are you going to do? All right, you might dare to knock a MAGA hat off somebody's head, but you're going to knock a Bible out of somebody's hand and then...
No, nobody's doing that. I got news for you. If somebody didn't tell him that was a Bible specifically, he'd think you knocked the fucking phone book out of his hands. He doesn't know.
I get to sit back and watch you burst into flames.
What?
And what's Biden got?
First of all, highlighter supervillain? I mean, if you're going to have I guess, yeah, for those of you who don't know, she's a DC villain in one of their alternate universes or whatever, and she makes you, she highlights the wrong part of what you're trying to study or read, so you get all messed up and you screw up the test. It's terrible.
On the flip side, what Biden's agnostic balm for your knee boo-boo after you fall? That's the best you got.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's the best you've got. How about just going to fucking church? How about? Is that look at her like staring down the barrel of the camera like she fucking nailed it.
Yeah. Kat, what do you think about this? Is it a little cheesy or is it,
He knows it's cheesy. He's embarrassed by it, but he's still got to sell it because if he comes out against it and points it out for how like shameless and bullshit it is, everybody will eat him alive. So he's got to tap dance around it like a fucking wuss.
No, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to sell it. He could give it away.
I think he might watch this and get the idea for an audiobook where, like, Trump reads the Bible.
I would buy that.
I mean, like...
So would I.
Like today, right? in his own words, like today's Good Friday, he talks about like crooked Judas and the haters and the losers. I mean, people like he's doing this during Holy. It's like, of course he is. Of course he is. And you know what else?
What do you mean? Of course he is. It isn't. The Holy Week has nothing to do with it. People don't get. It's not like Bible buying season, for fuck's sake. He's doing it right before his porn star hush money trial starts to try and lock in Christians with this bullshit that he somehow found redemption, or he actually believes it before this trial starts, because it's a criminal trial. He's going to have to sit through it. They're going to hear the evidence again. And so he's hoping this is him just throwing a bunch of fucking papers in the air and hoping you don't know, like, you don't see that he's trying to sneak out of the room as they fall to the floor.
People are going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, reading the description of this, it's like comes with a big, large, easy to read, beautiful font or whatever. I mean,
yeah, see, she read it and it's a joke. They're all reading it like that, and they're trying so fucking hard. They're trying so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Just polish that turd, Kat. Just go for it. Just an evening of turd polishing on Gutfeld.
You don't have to buy it, but you know what? People are going to. You look at white evangelicals, like 80% of them vote for Donald Trump. No matter how many times people have pointed out, oh, well, Trump did this and Trump did that.
What did they point out? They pointed out something? Did they point out something? I didn't realize that. I mean, just what, he didn't wash his hands before he touched a doorknob, or what did they point out? The pussy grabbing thing and the fucking stealing from charities, having to pay $2 million and admit that he misused his charity to pay his own bills. That kind of stuff, or nah, they don't give a fuck.
Clearly they don't care.
Yeah, that's true. If they actually cared, they wouldn't have one of them.
He has said before the Bible is his favorite book.
Yes.
I'm surprised there hasn't been an audio version already. You don't have to like it, but people will, and they will buy it.
Just look at the trying. It's viscous. You can, because sometimes when people are like, well, I didn't like that, but and they try to spin something. We all do it. If something, it's almost like when a cat falls off of something and tries to recover. There's a little bit of like, all right, okay, maybe I look like an asshole, but I'm fine. Just cover and walk away, wherever. But this is sticky. This is gooey, like the pages of the Trump Bible. It's all gummy.
It's funny. It's like
that's hilarious.
Is it?
Yeah,
but
it is.
Yeah, see, he can't help it because it's embarrassing and stupid. Yes.
They're trying to drain him with lawfare. And
fuck does this have to do with anything? They're trying to drain him with lawfare.
And now they make fun of him for trying to raise money.
I don't have a problem with him trying to raise money. I think the method kind of raises eyebrows, wouldn't you?
Listen,
here's a good idea. Just in general, don't sell a book you've never read. Just from a political standpoint, if you're a politician or even a leader, you see yourself as a leader, fine. But don't sell a book you have never read. Because you might find out that it's got some shit in it later that you have to live up to, and you are not prepared to follow through on that.
I think only President Trump. This is why I want at least one debate. He's like, sir,
Jesus.
Sir, you had $174 million in fines to pay. You're like, yeah, and the Lord paid it for me. Like,
No, he's not going to sell $174 million worth of Bibles, asshole. And he's certainly not going to get that's 174 maggot dollars that he's spending it on. Oh, Rook One? Absolutely. ChatGPT could do a version of him reading the Bible. Yeah. You'd have to do a rewrite of it. You'd have to put in some of his speeches and how he talks, and then put in the Bible verses, go translate this to how he speaks, and then you'd have to do a voice copy. But you could totally do it. Yeah, none of them know what to say.
I can't talk trash because I'm not a religious dude, right?
Yeah, all of them think it's bullshit.
But
well, neither is Trump.
Respect the rules of religion, because I think when
the rules Oh, you mean Sharia? Fine. Fine. Okay. Have fun in Michigan, asshole.
The country follows them. We're a better country, right? But
which rules would that be? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, stoning people to death, bearing adulterous women up to their neck and then stoning them, but letting the husbands go free, and yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. And I got 4 kids and 3 baby mamas, man. I need as much money as I get. I don't know.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, thanks for telling us all how moral Trump is. No wonder you're a fan.
Oh, maybe the street version of the Bible would tire us. The Lord said unto thee, to the young man, no, did he?
By the way, just so you know, no diddy is the new no homo. Just for the record, that is the street swap of that phrase. When people say no diddy, that's the new no homo. Hey man, I love you, no diddy. That's just where that came from. In case you don't know, I'm serious.
Nice. In His name we pray.
Yes, Charlie. Why should he limit it to Christianity?
Oh God. Yeah, why do I trap myself with these assholes? Why do I do it? It's just going to get worse.
Why not do a version of the Quran or the Torah?
Yeah, I think that might not work.
Wow, you're just trying to punk him or something?
As well?
No, I don't think so.
But it is always the same with these people. It's always these people.
These people? What do you mean, these people? The people who read the Quran, or the people who read the Torah? Or the people who actually read the Bible and don't like this shit?
Who care the least about what God has to say, who become the most offended when Donald Trump supposedly is trying to benefit from or commercialize off the Bible.
Yeah, I don't. It's so weird. It's all you summed it up. Try to commercialize off the Bible. I don't know why anybody would be offended on behalf of someone else. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think if they put out a sports Torah where they rewrote all the characters as sports figures just to get the kids in. I think a lot of people and Michael Vick sold it. We'd be kind of in the same, like, what the fuck?
And when I first heard about it, I just dismissed it because you hear so much of,
because he thought it was so absurd. It couldn't possibly be true that someone was punking him.
Much of the outrage, you're just like, okay, this is really stupid. But then I sat and watched the video, and I watched the video, and I was like, oh, this is so fantastic. And
it is so fantastic. Yeah, it was. That's the word I use. Fantastic.
And the reason it's so great is because he goes.
No, it's not great. It's definitely not great. It's fantastic. As in fantastical, as in fantasy, as in bullshit, and not great. No. It's not great.
Right to the point. He's not being like subtle about it.
No.
He's being like, this is what we need to do. And he's like defending the Bible in the.
No, he isn't. You cannot defend something you do not know. You can defend what somebody else told you, right? But that doesn't make you the general. That makes you the grunt.
In the public square, which is actually, I think, is a very
the public square? Are you fucking kidding? It's on a website.
Smart thing to be doing. And he's not apologizing for it.
Does anybody get a royalty?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
There is a financial aspect to it, but there is to any Bible you buy. Every Bible.
That's what I meant.
Like,
it's like every Bible.
No, there isn't. No, there is not a financial incentive to every Bible you buy. First of all the ones in the fucking hotel drawers are free. If you walk into a church and you ask for one, a good portion of the time, unless you're an asshole who keeps trying to, take them and throw them out, if you go, I don't have a Bible and I can't afford one, they will give you one. That's it. The publisher, again, a lot of religious books, unless they're like, books about the books, are just the printing cost. Jesus Christ. They don't shave off fucking King James Version, the regular one that you get. They don't shave off 20% for fucking white parties with Diddy at the fucking, at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, who gets the money when you buy a Bible?
Right. But the point is that
You've never you never bought one. Hold on, let me, if I may, real quick, just to show, okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. Here's Bibles for America. They'll send you a New Testament for free. You want a Bible or whatever? Order your Bible. There's the New Testament Recovery editions for free. There's a study Bible version. There's the translations of it. Let's see. Books. Which ones do they have? All inclusive, correct. Read on mobile or tablet. That's the other thing too, is you can get them. You can download it for free everywhere. Okay, here we go. 1 second. Let me grab another one. Back the fuck up. There, oh, there you go. Believers need. Let's see. Send scripture into countries close to adult easy read Bibles fast. Same day with there you go. Free Bibles by postal mail. Is free Bible sent about most ministries will only send a New Testament. The free offer comes with strings attached. Not only does free Bible send a complete. So here you go. 7 ways. This is good. Here you go. 7 ways to get a free Bible. There you go. Number 1, stay in a hotel. There it is. 7 ways to get. Contact a local church. One of the easiest and possibly the very best ways to obtain a free Bible is to call a local church. Most large and small churches have a surplus of left-behind Bibles in their lost and found closet. Some churches have so many unclaimed Bibles, they have to ask a local prison outreach to come and distribute them to prisoners. It's not unusual for churches to keep a supply of new Bibles specifically for giving away to visitors who don't have one. So don't be shy, ask for one. Download the free Bible app. Use the free online Bible. Contact your local library. Most local libraries have a variety of Bibles for patrons to use and borrow. Some libraries request a Bible from freebible.net. They'll send it to you, 1 per person, 1 per address. Request a Bible from the United States Bible Society. They'll send you one. Request a Bible from myfreebible.org. Contact a Bible society, like the American Bible Society or the Gideons, and they will send you one. You don't have to make money on it, you dumb motherfucker. That's what's weird about it. It's like one of the few books where you don't have to make a profit on it. Like, God. It's just fucking gross. And this asshole has no idea.
It's Donald
Where
Trump.
does it go? Who's the author?
Yeah, but
this is my only question, Charlie.
Yeah.
Who's the author who gets the money?
The copyright has expired.
The copyright has expired. Therefore, there is no way to do that. There are other books like that, right?
Yeah,
Oh, dear God. Yeah, the Bible, Moby Dick. What's the difference?
Every book that's over like 50 years old, the copyright expired.
Not 50 years.
That's wrong. All right.
You're thinking about yourself right now.
Yeah. All you have to do is change one word on the end of each chapter of the Bible, and it technically would be a new book.
That's true.
Gutfeld.
That's true. All right.
What an odd fucking thing. These guys are such assholes. This is really odd. Like, because the whole point of this is like mocking the Bible, and like that's what the left is doing, and Democrats are just showing their ass by mocking the Bible because we're mocking the fact that he doesn't know shit about it and he's trying to sell one. And these motherfuckers don't even know, you can get one for free from any fucking hotel you ever sleep in, and you can ask for one free from a church and they will just give you one because that's the point. And Donald Trump, if he was actually fucking rich, would go, I'm partnering with Lee Greenwood. He sells these Bibles, and I think they're wonderful, and they've got all this extra stuff, and it's got a constitution, all this kind of stuff. So I am donating $5 million to Lee Greenwood so that he can hand out copies of these at our rallies or wherever. When you meet him in person in Branson or at his shows or wherever, he'll have a certain number of these that he can hand out at every show for people like you who go and help my friend Lee Greenwood because he's made music and we use his music, and I just wanted to do that for him. And plus, the Bible is getting into everybody's hands. Like, that's, for fuck's sake, how is that not the most obvious direct answer? What the fuck is wrong with these people? It's so, well, besides the fact that they are artificially pious. Jesus Christ. No pun intended. Just ick. Just ick. Also, by the way, yeah, you can't make money on that. That's true, because Trump is ultimately it's a grift. The Gideons would be thrilled to have you take one from their hotels. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody there goes to church. Agreed. Not a single person, but they can't wait to wag their fucking finger at you. Sorry, Maria, that this upsets you. I totally am with you. They're drugged up alcoholics. I don't know if that's the case. It's hard. Yeah. Yeah. And Jesus did look down upon the masses and go, show me the money. So, yeah. Now, what would the show be without one of the Blaze assholes attacking the concept of democracy? Now, we are a constitutional republic that chooses our leaders via democratic means. We are a democracy in how we choose our leaders and how our leaders in our representative government choose whether something passes in the House and the Senate and then up to the president itself. These are representative democracies in terms of we hire someone who speaks on a bunch of people, who votes for the majority of the people in an area, and then that person votes to somebody who's one of two people that represents a state, and that goes up to the president, and we vote for those people so we can pick who's making the decisions and all that kind of stuff based on whether they do it or not, whether they vote the way we want or not. That's a democracy. This fucking stupid argument is, they throw it up all the time, and it is absolutely meaningless. But they keep thinking it's a dunk. And, of course, leave it to Pat to be the last one, to leave this part.
History teaches us that democracies don't disappear overnight. They disappear slowly, subtly, silently. A book ban, a court decision.
Oh, my gosh.
A don't say gay law. Before World War II, I'm told, Berlin was the center of LGBTQ culture in Europe. One group of people
Well, it was very kinky. I will give them that.
loses their rights. And then another.
Gotta be kidding me.
And then another.
No, they scooped up everybody, and they also included in those people who couldn't vote, like the mentally disabled or the handicapped. And that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, and they like to jibber jabber over the top of her because the idea, I guess, of a woman speaking, they find very upsetting.
They've got more rights than we do. What are you talking?
See what I mean?
One morning you wake
and
up.
you no longer live in a democracy.
So much there for Pat.
Okay, he's like, first of all, gay people don't have more rights than you do. They do not. It's just that you're so used to them not having them that once they have the same ones as you, you think you're being overtaken because you're an idiot. But you know what? I'm jumping ahead. Perhaps he's going to explain he's going to articulate his position very well, and we'll all understand what the actual criticism he has and the material impact of his criticism and what needs to change.
So much there.
Okay. There is so much. Just jump right in there. So much fake brick. So many guitars that never get played and that no one can play. It's you know what it's like a Sesame Street version of Tim Pool's studio.
So keep that fresh in your mind, how you're feeling right now. You might even want to scribble down on a scale of 0 to 10 how angry you are so you can compare it to how you feel after this news clip from Boston, Massachusetts. Okay?
We call on the white church in Boston to join us in supporting a black reparations movement.
Standing in solidarity, clergy leaders from across the city of Boston gathered for an interfaith, multiracial meeting at the Resurrection Lutheran Church in Roxbury, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it sounds like people exercising their free speech rights, and you may disagree with them, you may agree with them, but this is America happening.
Square. They're here to ask the religious community to atone for Black Boston's suffering and support Black reparations.
And we are coming, as Dr. King said, to get our check.
Organizers from the Boston People's Reparation Commission say
Good luck
they're
with
also
that.
following up on their demand on the city of Boston for a $15 billion initial payout to begin the process
Initial
towards repair and reconciliation to the city's black community.
$5 billion as initial payment around cash payouts.
Oh, yeah, great.
$5 billion around strengthening our financial institutions, creating a new black bank.
Sure. Okay.
$5 billion
$5 billion
in terms of addressing issues of the education achievement gap between blacks and whites.
In 2022, the Boston City Council.
Also, there are stories about this everywhere, but you'll notice that this is. Remember, don't get caught up too much in the individual stories, whether it was what Joe Biden was saying, whether it's this particular story. It's more about the connections these assholes are making in their heads. This is how the Blaze operates. The Blaze does this thing where they grab like 3 anecdotal things that they know will be upsetting or off-putting or curiously upsetting to their followers, because there's no particular reason why what Joe Biden was saying is particularly, should trigger you, but they do, because it's just probably the don't say gay part of it is their whatever their freak point is, because that you could hear how he immediately went, they have more rights than us, like that. That's what they're looking for. So Pat is literally having the reaction they want their audience to have, and so they'll take this. We'll see if there's a third story. I wouldn't doubt it, but if they take like 3 of these and tie them together and go, the world's fucking crazy, right? That seems, again. Also, for the record, don't they hate the mainstream media in CBS mainstream and maybe this is fake news. Maybe this didn't even happen at all.
And Mayor Michelle Wu offered an official apology for the city's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. She also launched 2 task force research
Boston's
teams
involvement?
to study Boston's
It was a port city, dum-dum. What do you mean, what was Boston's involvement?
Role in slavery. And its
how about this? Look it up before you open your fucking trap.
long impact on descendants.
You're immediately like, what happened in Boston? It's not like boats landed there or some shit. What the fuck did that have to do with people being with chattel slavery arriving in the United States? Like, what?
They're in a northern
So we still
state.
suffer from the trauma of those instances, and even today,
That guy's not suffering.
dealing with racism.
On Saturday, this group called on the white church in Boston to support the black community for its
What white
association in slavery.
Just pause it
Today
for a
we
second.
call upon.
Is there a white church in
That's
Boston?
a great point.
What do you?
No, they're predominantly white churches. What they mean is the Catholic Church. That they're addressing it as the white church because of that. Do I have allergies? No, I do not.
What are you talking about?
What is that?
What white church? You've got
The predominantly white churches in the other neighborhoods. I got news for you. If I wanted to go to the quote-unquote black churches, they would welcome me in. They're not black churches. They're just predominantly black churches.
got black churches, obviously. But what white church?
Just churches. They're churches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just churches.
What are you talking about?
Predominantly white churches in different neighborhoods. Yeah. Boston, Brian, you're from Boston. Am I speaking out of school? Because I guarantee in the white churches, there are people of color in there. There's probably a good deal of Asians, for example. Right? That would be one of the big groups that shows up at the what are effectively formerly, I guess, according to these guys, white churches, right?
Are there whites only churches where?
No, there are not whites only churches. There are not blacks only churches, but there are predominantly white churches and predominantly black churches.
That I don't know about that are.
Okay. Again, this is just this is a exaggeration to the point of lying for outrage.
Discriminating against minorities in Boston? Jeez. All right, let's see.
Have you been? Do you know what you're talking about? Have you set foot in a fucking church yourself lately?
The rest of this.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Gosh.
For its association in slavery.
Today we call upon this city, its financiers, and its white churches to stop the shirk.
Well, he pronounced white like a racist, though. That was interesting. White. He did the white. Yeah. Watch out for that, by the way. When you hear somebody say white and they the white, that's a dog whistle.
Stop the lying, tell the truth, and pay what is owed.
Organizers say the next step is to engage in conversation with white church leadership.
I got news for you, folks. Like, this is a local news story, and it's fine. But look at the room that they're in. Look at the people that are gathered. This is an activist group, and these are the spiritual leaders, and they're trying to do something that they believe is good. But the impact of this overall, there are white-only churches. No, there aren't, Carol G. There might be only white people go there, but that's not a whites-only church. Nobody is turned away. Yeah, just period. Not today, not forever. Not in a long time.
I'm bored with that. Where's this white pastor ponying up his check? Why don't you write the first $5 billion check from your account?
Can you imagine writing a
just call the preacher a douche, the priest a douche. Just call him a douche. He's Our Lady of the Sacred Douche.
Check for tithe to your church, and then your church be like, "Yep, thank you. We'll be taking this over for reparations down payment."
Right. We're not.
Right. That would surprise you coming from your church. I guess if you never go.
Not the people who did this, and we're giving it to the people who didn't have it done to them. But thanks for the donation.
By the way, slavery was allowed in Massachusetts until it was abolished in 1783, also known as the year the Revolutionary War ended. So it seems like it was Britain's Massachusetts that did this to blacks.
Right.
Like a boom, slam. And now you're on to something. Tell us what the Civil War was about. We'll wait.
You have every opportunity to take your grievance right to London and deliver that paper to, I don't know, Buckingham Palace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Pat.
Oh dear.
I think that Joe Biden. Pissed me off.
Jill calling us
Because, I mean,
Nazis?
that is just so preposterous.
It is. It's just preposterous that democracies die slowly, bit by bit, as opposed to one big revolution.
The reparation from the white church, which doesn't exist.
Okay.
That is so preposterous. Jill Biden knows better.
But she's a
just
doctor.
Standing there lying through her teeth about certain things.
But what would those things be?
Doctor, though.
Yes, she is a doctor. Let's listen to Dr. Jill again, because this is
he's got some words.
Infuriating. There's a lot
Pat's got some
going
words
on here.
History teaches us that democracies
By the way, she's talking to the Human Rights Campaign. Yeah.
don't disappear
Pause
overnight.
it. No, history teaches us that democracies don't last. That's why we didn't create one in.
Okay, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the part where somehow they're like, we don't have a democracy. This isn't a democracy. We hear this all around. And by the way, this is, for those of you that are looking for a difference between Democrats and Republicans and all this uniparty horse shit that you hear, or it doesn't matter who you vote for or whatever, get ready to realize that's a bullshit idea, because that's where the names of these two parties come from. Democrats want to reinforce the democratic ideals of a democracy and make sure it extends to as many people as possible. And Republicans want to stick with a republic where only landowners are allowed to vote. They believe in the senatorial and electoral college way of electing leaders, not voting. They are anti-voting, period. Most of their attacks on voting, that Trump is doing, but for in a lot of ways, I think they wish it would just all crash so they could just enforce it. If you look at the fake electors, that's how they would rather this go. It's a very early 1800s way of deciding who the president will be, and they'd rather stick with that. Just fucking people could vote all they want. We're going to just throw them in the fucking river, and then you and I know we'll pick who should go up and be the congressperson, because these people are fucking idiots. That's what they mean. Republicans want a republic that landowners and wealthy people make all the decisions politically, and Democrats want one man, one vote, one person, one vote, and it should be meaningful. That's the difference between the two parties. There are variant other things that come with that, because when you favor one of those directions over the other, you eventually want, if you prefer democracy, with that, the people who support you and are in with you are going to have a myriad of other social programs and other kind of stuff. They're going to have more of an awareness as Democrats about the individuals and how, groups of individuals are doing and that kind of stuff and taking care of it. Republicans if you are leaning Republican and this is the way you go in terms of a direction ideologically, you're also going to want kind of broader set it and forget it kind of stuff, very much more monarchical in the decision making.
This country, their shelf life is at most 200 years.
First of all, asshole, we've been around more than 200 years.
At most.
No, not at most. We had the bicentennial in 1976. I was 6 years old. I remember it.
And they don't last.
Based on what? It sounds like wishful thinking, motherfucker.
That's why we're not a democracy.
Yes, we are.
Dummy. Let's hear the rest of this. Ugh.
They disappear slowly, subtly, silently.
Get this.
A book ban.
A book ban.
A court decision.
Pause it. What book ban has there been? Name one.
In terms of libraries in both Alabama and Florida, there hasn't been a nationwide one because Joe Biden wouldn't let that happen. Local, though. That's the thing. They work their way up the chain. Also, aren't you guys anti-cancel culture, except you want these books kicked out? Also, DeSantis, right.
Name one ban on one book, because there aren't any. We're trying to keep them out of the hands of, little school children. Mm-hmm. That's not banning them.
I tell you, not to get too deep.
Well, no, they also ban them for public employees. That's the other thing, too.
Into the weeds here, but if there is such a thing as a banning of books, it's this administration working with outfits like Amazon to hide books that went...
Yeah, you can't ban a book just by... that don't sell.
Against the COVID narrative and the vaccine narrative. You want to talk about books?
Well, kind of Amazon would rather, it. I don't know if you know this, as far as their business model go, Amazon sells more things to living people than it does to dead morons.
Bans woman.
That's for sure.
Oh.
Woman. That is crucial to the argument. Yeah. It's not only, she's part of the reason she has these stupid ideas that she doesn't care about book banning when it's books about how to use fish tank cleaner to cure COVID that are being sold on Amazon that company doesn't want to be liable for. So as a private company, they kick them off. But, you wouldn't even fucking care, woman.
That's exactly right.
No, it's not at all. You whiny tit.
Ugh. And a court decision. Okay, so in certain states, they've made it harder to murder babies.
Is that what they're doing? They made it easier for mothers to die in childbirth. Also, apparently you can't have one without the other. I guess that's the trade-off. So it really is your sort of priority, I suppose.
And that's ruining democracy.
Chicks, am I right, woman?
Yep.
Oh.
By the way, these guys represent at the Blaze the average Republican maggot voter. Do I think everybody in that room is going to vote? No. Do I think the majority of the people at the Blaze are even going to bother to vote? No.
All right, there's more.
Before World War II, I'm told, Berlin was the center of LGBTQ culture in Europe.
Pause it. How much LGBTQ culture was there in 1938?
Well, quite a lot, actually. There was a sexual renaissance that happened after the 20s that lasted up till basically in the United States, anyways, up until the crash of the stock exchange and the Depression starting. But even then, the underground clubs carried this forward. But like flapper culture and all that kind of stuff involved a lot of what are like semi-openly gay lifestyles. Seriously, it was a huge thing. And in Europe, it was spread throughout. There was some in France. There was certainly some in England. There was, less of it depending on what the rules were. But in Germany, it was absolutely the most open. No question.
Come on.
Just read a book, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, people hid themselves from that sort of... They didn't announce it. They didn't demonstrate it.
No, they didn't. But there was an entire underground culture.
They weren't...
There were like speakeasies and lounges, and nobody gave a fuck. And they didn't come in and fucking bang on the door and ask you if you were gay and then run you off and throw you in a fucking boxcar.
They weren't parading around in front of people.
No, they didn't have parades. And one of the reasons why they ended up fucking getting killed is because people didn't recognize that they were all there. Where the fuck do you think the rainbow comes from, dipshit? The rainbow is a way of saying we're everywhere and they're all of us. We're the entire spectrum of humans, of every race, every color, every creed, every country, nationality, all that. There are gay people within all of them. That's what it meant. And they didn't, you're right, they did not march. And their visibility was tamped down. But they were also, it was like, more like don't ask, don't tell in Germany, right? But because they kept it hidden and people weren't aware, when it came time to like round them up, that's why a bunch of them got killed, because they didn't have an open freedom in society. Once you give them that open freedom in society, they're harder to round up and kill. That's the point.
Announcing that because it wasn't even safe then. Come on.
Yes, there was not gay marriage. But they had couples that cohabitated for decades and nobody bothered them. They just kind of knew and didn't care. That was the whole point. Italy, different story. Parts of England, certainly Scotland and Ireland had their issues with it, depending on how religious the neighborhood was and the like. I'm sure Scandinavian countries, a few of them did, but Germany, she's absolutely right.
And they had a culture. They had a culture of LGBTQ-ness in Berlin.
Yes, they did.
Get out of here.
First of all, Germany is still pervy as fuck to this day.
And there's more.
One group of people.
Hold on one second. This is going to annoy me. Hold on. Double defeat. A catastrophe for gay emancipation in Germany and the USSR. In 1933 and 1934, the gains made by gay men in Germany and the Soviet Union were abruptly reversed. If the increasingly anachronistic term homosexuality may still be utilized with appropriate contextualization, then a critical history perspective can settle on 1933-34 as a time of enormous setbacks for homosexual emancipation. In the space of little more than a year, this vital cause in the struggle for human freedom and equality suffered a double defeat. Double in the sense that in both Germany and the Soviet Union, gay and lesbian liberation was abruptly and violently rolled back, in retrospect, for decades. These two countries, beset at the time by dual monstrosities of Hitler and Stalin, have been places where significant advances had occurred for same-sex relationship during the previous 15 years, in a shockingly brief time. Again, this is the flappers era, like I was saying. This was also a big time of female emancipation that was also stifled in those same countries around the same time. In Berlin, on May 6, 1933, just over 3 months after Adolf Hitler became chancellor, members of the SA, the Nazi Party's stormtroopers, and ultranationalist students assembled outside the Institute for Sexual Science near the Tiergarten in central Berlin. Established by the esteemed sexologist Magnus Hirschfeld, the institute had emerged as an epicenter for research on the full range of sexualities available to humans. Jewish, gay, and politically on the left, Hirschfeld would expect a triple enmity from the adherents of Nazism. That's him. Before 33, Goebbels had long denounced Hirschfeld and the Institute of Sexual Sciences claims that homosexuals in fact represent a third sex, that same-sex intimacy should not be categorized as criminal, and that people troubled by physical and psychological sex disorders should be provided the best counseling and treatment available. Goebbels also knew that the Institute's presence in Berlin had been backed by the Social Democratic Party of Germany. Again, that's the Democrats. Like, everybody should have a right to vote. Everybody should be allowed to be themselves. Individual freedom, which is also, again, a root of the Democratic Party that has been hijacked by Republicans when they don't actually believe it. The World League for Sexual Reform. Thus, the opportunity to assault the Institute was eagerly embraced by Nazism's unleashed thugs. Tina Grossman, in her superb 1995 Reforming Sex, describes how a brass band played while the 10,000 volumes of the Institute's library were publicly burned, its buildings attacked, and a bust of Hirschfeld destroyed. Hirschfeld, often nicknamed the Einstein of sex, could only watch from afar from his new home of Paris as everything he had labored to achieve since the 1890s in the field of scientific exploration and understanding of sexuality literally went up in flames. Soon after, the Nazi dictatorship cracked down on the famed gay and lesbian subculture of Berlin with its own clubs, bars, and publications. Even worse measures followed, starting in the late 1930s when the Hitler regime revealed just how extreme its homophobia was. 13 months later, in June 1934, another hammer stroke fell on aspirations for homosexual emancipation. No one was surprised by Nazi suppression of the gay and lesbian milieu in Berlin and elsewhere in Germany. This second case was radically different. The Soviet government under Joseph Stalin devised a law recriminalizing homosexuality. Again, recriminalizing it. It had been criminalized at that point. Genrikh Yagoda's GPU, the secret police, had already begun rounding up gay men, but without a law delineating the nature of the offense. The 1934 law rectified this omission in a horrid distortion of the tenets of Marxism. Physical intimacy between men became solely identified with the decadent behavior of the old ruling class. Sentences of hard labor now became Sentences of hard labor could be imposed on men who violated the new law. Many of these convicted eventually landed in the notorious Gulag system of the forced labor camps. With the passing of the legislation, Stalin furthered his total betrayal of the October Revolution. Shortly after the Bolshevik person, whoever's writing this is clearly pro-Marxist and is very upset that Marxism, in both of its forms, led to them going, well, you're not going to create kids and therefore you're useless. You're a useless eater. Being gay, you got to go, which is the root of the Stalinistic feeling about it. And of course, the Nazis, if you weren't going to crank out perfect German children, you're a waste of resources. Yeah. And right. There you go. The Bolsheviks' declarations of the Worldwide Workers' Revolution signaled a new era of human emancipation and the end to all forms of unfreedom and discrimination, set ablaze the imagination of more than a few men and women inside and outside the Soviet Union, yearning for sexual freedom. Penal codes drawn up in 1922 and 26 did not include provisions against same-sex relations, though homophobic attitudes still definitely survived in the Bolshevik ranks. Moreover, that Georgy Chicherin was gay. He was not outspoken about his sexuality, however. It did not hinder his appointment as Leon Trotsky's successor in the People's Commissar of Foreign Affairs in 1918. He became one of the most visible figures in the USSR until he left the position in 1930. During the 20s, despite some internal opposition, the Bolshevik regime also established ties with Hirschfeld's Institute and Soviet sexologists, participated in congresses conducted by the World League of Social Reform in the late 1920s. Through an ominous new turn occurred in Soviet policy towards homosexuality, the 1934 law signaled a complete and draconian reversal of the Bolsheviks' earlier openness to same-sex sexuality. So in both cases, you asshat, in both cases, there was a relaxing of rules against homosexuality, and then they clamped down hard. Now, don't quit it. Just stop. And the fact that that this asshole doesn't know or doesn't care is ridiculous. It's par for the course for the Blaze, I suppose.
Loses their rights,
Mm-hmm.
and then another,
Mm.
and then another.
Mm-hmm.
Until one morning you wake up
And
you no longer live in a democracy.
Because we're not a...
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. We're a constitutional republic that picks our leaders via democracy. We use democracy as our method for creating our government. We're absolutely democracy. They're interchangeables. It's interchangeable thought forms. It's the same as it's saying, it's not clips, it's magazines when you're talking to fucking like gun nuts, and they're like, it's not a clip, it's a magazine. Like, okay, then go with me into any fucking gun store that sells like belts and all kinds of like holsters and shit like that, and you will see dozens of things going clip holder. Yeah, hold a clip. There's for clips. This is for extra clips, ammo clips. Like, you'll see them written over because they're interchangeable and nobody gives a fuck. But these fucking like, but actually, we're actually not. We're like, not actually. Actually, we're not a democracy. Yes, we are. We're a constitutional republic with a representative government, and we choose our leaders via democratic means. This is fucking dumb. It is a distinction without a difference that these assholes think is a dunk because they are stupids. They are the big stupids. Now, do we even get out of here in time for... Okay, we got that one. We covered Levin. We got this guy. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's silly. We'll save that. Okay, now, I don't know if you know this, but ladies and gentlemen of the show, people, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Share the show out. Hit that like right now. If you're on Facebook, give me an emoji, some kind of an emoji from the little choices that you have at the top of the page that says, the angry one works the best, but hearts are fine. If you find that too disingenuous and you're like, but I love the show, that's fine. That's true. But you can make it like, oh, I love you, and then give an angry heart and then the angry face and then the heart. That'll work, right? Okay, excellent. Now, yes, penises works too. What? They fear the word democracy like Putin's greatest fear. I agree. What? My birthday is the 25th of September. Thank you very much. So, but I don't know if you know this, but 97% of the people who watch my show aren't subscribed to the show. I have huge numbers.
Even outside, it's packed.
Or so they tell me to say on all the videos about how to grow subscribers that everybody says. So I want you, like, if you could hit the like or subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe because subscribing helps. Just do it. Just do it. You know you want to do it. I just did it and I want to do it again. I subscribe all the time. You got to come on, to get roast subscribers, you got to get good soil. That is a problem. I don't have enough manure around here. This is the problem with not being full of shit, is I can't grow my little subscriber plants. All right. So, but I'm not the only one who's being the deep state Illuminati elite globalists are trying to put me out of business with the Uniparty and also others trying to destroy my show. It's not just me though. They're going, I don't know if you know this, they're going after OAN as well. Washington corrupt corporate legacy media wages war on disinformation against One America News. Oh no. They're going after One America. If they take One America, where will we get our bullshit from? I guess we can just go straight to RSBN. Never mind, we're good. There's always Newsmax too. That's true. And RAV, R-A-V, that's there too. And then I guess there's always, I mean, if you read, there's whatever Gateway Pundit and that kind of stuff, or whatever those things are. So, but maybe we hear them out. I don't know. Maybe it seems like it. Let's see. Because apparently the derp state is after them. Okay, here we go. Derp state.
Truth in journalism and freedom of the press are under assault in
Oh no, that's terrible. I had no idea.
Our nation today, and sources
for
credible news are few and far between.
Between what? These cheeks.
One America's Pearson Sharp has warned why the radical left is trying to silence independent news networks like OAN.
Oh, okay, so not OAN, just ones like OAN. So there are other like broke, low-res, shitty news knockoff internet companies. And I mean, I'm sure you're on the list.
It's no secret that one...
I agree. It's not. Hold on one second. We have to address this properly. 1 second. Let's go. Oh, no, I don't like that one. Let's go with... Let me go with this guy. No, we'll go with... Nah, I can't borrow that one. That's just wrong. I'll go with this guy. It's no secret. Man, that's not a secret at all. I don't understand.
America News is the go-to target for the
for those who want a good laugh.
Radical left-wing tyrants in America.
Oh, the tyrants. Really? They're tyrants, which means they have tremendous amounts of power, and yet they manage to find time to fuck around with you? Jesus Christ. Are they bored, or is it just an easy target? Are you the low-hanging fruit of the butt knuckle of the internet?
Communists in
Communists!
Washington and the mainstream media have decided.
Oh, that's where they are.
That it's much safer to attack, deplatform, demonetize,
and destroy, debunk these nuts.
And censor us.
Oh dear God, they did.
Than it is to maintain the freedom of the press.
Oh, it's terrible. How'd that shit happen? Really? They don't have the testicular fortitude to hang on to the thing with the. They just want to destroy it because it's easier. Yeah.
Time and again, OAN has
over and over and OAN over.
Has reported news that no other news station will touch.
Yeah, I mean it's not technically news. Maybe that's why. Maybe they do news and you're just talking shit. And they're like, I don't want to touch shit much.
And for our efforts, the corrupt elite at the White House pulled some strings.
Uh-oh.
And got us kicked off the airwaves.
Oh, dear. Did they? Is it part of this master plan to lower your ratings and make it hard for you to pay your licensing fee? Wait, were you by any chance broadcasting from a warehouse in Minnesota that smelled like pillows? Is there an
asshole? You think they'd have censored us if we were lying?
Well, sure. I mean, defamation being what it is, of course, slander, and then of course you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. That's another form of, that kind of a lie is actually dangerous. They can let some go,
If our reporting was actually fake news?
Yeah. If it was like propaganda for a foreign government, or it was meant to, give false medical information to people, and that resulted in deaths, like 1.3 million.
No, they're censoring us
because we're easy, because we're weak and small, and no one watches. And so if they censor us, no one will ever know. If a newscast is taken off a network that no one watches, does it even make a sound?
Because we're right.
Wing, nut jobs.
We've been right about everything.
Well, gosh, maybe they're just jealous.
The whole time.
Oh, is that the name of your show? Sorry. Baldy McCranks a lot on OAN's new show, The Whole Time.
When someone is wrong about something...
Show us. Give us an example. I think you can.
You use facts to prove them wrong.
Yeah, unless they're showing people an exit, for example, that like out a door of a burning building that is into more fire or goes off a cliff and the fire isn't really a fire and you threw a smoke bomb in the kitchen to get people to run out the door and fall to their deaths, which you don't have time to counter because people will be dead by the time the debate's over.
But when they're right, and you can't admit it because you'd go to jail...
For being right? Oh, for them being right. If they're right, you go to jail. For what?
Then you cover them up.
Ah, you cover them up. Yeah, you hide their light under a candle under a bushel, which would, I believe, set a fire. Depends on how dry the bushel is, I suppose. That's hard. That's difficult. Yeah.
And so, of course, when we exposed the so-called called president's son,
the so-called president's son, it's really his kid. Is that the new argument? OAN thinks that Hunter Biden's not Joe Biden's actual son? Oh, or are you just going so-called president? I see. So he's not the president. So you're going with that angle. Okay. I can't imagine. What's it feel like to be that right all the time?
As a meth head, drug addict, sex fiend taking...
Who knows that if you're going to smoke in a hotel room, doing it in the bathtub guarantees you won't set the room on fire, and also has the decency to cover up his nipples when someone takes a picture of him smoking in the tub, which is a federal crime.
Bribes from Ukraine and...
Yeah, he didn't do that.
China, we get censored.
Did you? Really? How'd you get censored? I mean, I say what you will about bullshit, but it's largely legal.
Can't have stories like that floating around.
Not in the punch bowl. That'll ruin the party. One of your turd-like stories floating around in there, nobody's going to want to... Yeah, way to kill everybody's buzz.
Now, you could have waited and...
No, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Like every day, I'm like, oh, way in.
And watch the mainstream media to find out about the horrifying abuses revealed...
Oh, horrifying. Horrifying abuses of bathwater.
On Hunter Biden's laptop.
What laptop would that be? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen the laptop? Has it ever been in your possession? I mean, possession. I know you were. You're a newsman. You obviously checked it out.
Or you could have watched One America News, where we covered the story 3 years ago.
Ad nauseum. Yep. Yeah. So you're still butthurt that your October surprise failed. Gotcha. I understand. You look upset. I understand. You have the look of a man who realizes he's been wasting his life, and at the same time, for what? Less money than Greg Kelly makes?
Same goes for the Wuhan lab leak of the dreaded China virus. You could have followed the mainstream media, which dismissed Anthony Fauci's ties to the lab, before finally admitting that, yes, it was true.
Oh, you mean checking a story before you run with it? Also, ties? What does that mean?
Or you could have followed One America News, which...
Oh, well, we would have followed her right into the White House, and then we would have seen how Trump treated her before she quit the network and left.
Uncovered the story, again, over 3 years ago. Or how...
Oh, over 3 years ago. Right. When Trump was president. When Donald Trump was president. When Trump was president. Right. That's what you mean over 3 years ago? That would be when Donald Trump was president of the United States. Okay, sure. Yeah. So, cover-ups, government overreach, Trump president. I'm with you. What?
How about the reports on January 6th, which OAN revealed as fake news? No one was killed by protesters.
By protesters? Well, technically, the woman that was trampled to death, she died of a drug overdose. She was having her attack because of drugs, but you guys stepped on her. Also, I guess if the dude that Ashley Babbitt had punched so she could be first through the window wasn't such a wuss, he could have punched back and he'd have been the first through and she saved her life.
The only violence that day appeared to have...
Where the guy who brought a gun and fired it into the air and all the cops that got beat up and the ramrod that these people made.
Been carried out by potential FBI plants and...
Yeah, that's what... Well, let's see. What do you expect? I mean, you got a bunch of dough-headed motherfuckers all riled up because somebody whispered in their ear. What are they supposed to do? Not attack cops? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Antifa rioters dressed up as Trump supporters.
Yes, the greatest undercover sting in the world. They gained tons of weight and infiltrated right-wing families for decades just so that they could get ready for their moment, giving themselves type 2 diabetes.
Officer Brian Sicknick wasn't killed by a blow to the head by a Trump protester wielding a fire extinguisher. He died of natural causes.
Yes, naturally, if you get hit in the head by a fire extinguisher or you already are, it's possible you're going to have a stroke, you can speed up that process through being attacked or stress or any of those things because it's about a piece of fat breaking loose in your fucking veins and clogging another one and causing you to die, so...
In fact, the only reason people believed Officer Sicknick was killed by Trump supporters in the first place is because the mainstream media lied about it.
Officer Brian Sicknick died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the hours-long attack.
They beat
a Capitol police officer to death with a fire extinguisher.
Officer Brian Sicknick died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the fight.
She was wrong about the beating. That was the information they had at the time. By the way, the next day or the day afterwards, this was not a giant fucking plot. But secondly, everybody else was talking about it. Clearly, it did. He was hit, and he died later. What they would come to find was that he had a stroke. But saying it isn't related is something you can't say.
He died at the age of 42 after he was bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher.
They reported on it and lied about it, and the fact checkers did nothing to stop them.
Right, and what about the fact checkers that attack your whole point that nobody had a gun that day, and yet lots of people had guns, and one fucking dude fired his gun into the air and flashed it at people?
To this day, they've never been fact-checked for lying about Brian Sicknick.
Yeah, they have. They a lot of them issued corrections and were more specific going forward. Almost all of them. Everybody that you showed since then. It's been years.
But we have been, for telling the truth.
How? What the fuck happened to you? You're still on the air. I'm listening to you, right?
And then there's the stories of...
I don't give a fuck what the other stories are. What? How are you censored? I'm still seeing you, you dumb fuck. If the elites are after you and you're being shut down, why can I still see you?
Russian collusion, the phony narrative peddled by the corporate news channels, which OAN exposed as a totally fabricated lie.
No, definitely not. Just the Manafort connection alone is reason enough to believe the rest of it, so fuck off.
The Russian collusion story was even worse, though, because it was created by Trump's political opponent.
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, she refused to use it. In retrospect, she should have. The Washington Free Beacon purchased the op-ed report. Hold on, fuck this. I know, weird. The Washington Free Beacon purchased the services of Christopher Steele to look up, to make opposition report, an opposition report on Trump. And then when they decided they were going to join him, if you can't beat him, they decided, fuck it. And so they went to sell it to her campaign, and she was like, they bought it, looked at it, because you can't see it until you buy it. They bought it and went, we can't run with this. We're not going to go with pee fucking peeing on the bed and all that kind of shit. Thank you very much. And he was like, but there's actual crimes here. And he went to the FBI. And one of her lawyers who worked at the firm was like, yeah, this is fucked up. This is real criminal shit. Even if we can't use it politically, this asshole is engaged in criminality. And so he went over there and knocked on a door as well. And it ended up fucking McCain was one of the primary conduits of how it got there.
And was spread and propagated by the mainstream media, who fed their lies to the American people for the sole purpose of sabotaging President Trump's campaign.
Yeah, it was how weird that, I don't know why they went through all that work. If the Republicans had any of the values that they say they do, the Access Hollywood tape would have fucked his candidacy earlier, and you would have run somebody else against Hillary.
We reported on Hillary Clinton's involvement in the Steele dossier and how she and her cohorts have been exposed by the Durham report for spying on President Trump with the help of the U.S. government.
What? She didn't spy on him with the help of the U.S. government? What the fuck? She wouldn't take the information public. He went to the FBI.
In fact, we interviewed Carter Page back in
Fuck Carter Page. Oh my God. Fuck Carter Page. You mean Carter the Courier Page?
2018.
And really, that's all you could get after all that? That motherfucker. You could just wear a Chris, what's his name, mask from MSNBC, and he would show up.
Blowing the lid off Clinton's conspiracy to frame President Trump.
Boom, play it. This is the interview. All right. It's just bald on bald on bald. I'm sorry. I feel like I feel bad for having dropped my baldness. Okay, sorry. Now I fit in. It's good. I shouldn't have a mustache, but beggars can't be choosers.
They went after you, but it seems like this is their new strategy. Like their golden tactic now is to just throw out
yes. Yes, it's the golden tactic. Yes.
These accusations, and whether or not they're proved, it doesn't matter. They went after you. They're going after Trump. They went after Kavanaugh. They went after Roy Moore.
So it was a great interview of Carter Page nodding while you just blather.
They one after the next.
Do we ever get to him saying yes?
And what are your thoughts on that?
It's just a shame. There's so much resources of our country that have been taken up by these false stories and, resources of our government. And
you're kidding me, right? Really? You think it was difficult looking you up or Manafort or any of these assholes? The only reason it was a waste of money was because there were people running interference for Trump in the process.
Part of the problem is it just creates so much division unnecessarily within our country. So
why is there necessary division, I suppose?
To me, that's the biggest tragedy. I'm less concerned about any personal impact it's had on myself, and I'm
because I'd rather hide now, and I'm lucky that I'm not going to jail, so
more concerned about the lasting damages that it's done to our country.
One America News reported it. The mainstream media covered it up.
No, they didn't. He got interviewed on bigger networks and was equally stupid.
Are you starting to get the picture?
No, I don't know what it is. I can hear you, but I think it's the broadcast. I don't see anything. Is it maybe check your settings or something? I don't know. It's pixely or something. It's like really, don't tell him. It's like really low res.
Why the radical left is so desperate to censor OAN.
Are they, though?
But it doesn't stop there.
Well, I hope not. Otherwise, boring.
OAN was the only network to report on the false flag attacks in Douma, Syria in 2018.
Well, first of all, Jimmy Dore would disagree. And also, the false flag attacks? You mean that the government didn't do them, that you're blaming the U.S. for white phosphorus, or that it was fake? They're still going with this. So OAN's still going with holy shit.
Which I personally investigated and exposed after meeting with doctors and
Did you? Like a group of doctors who have been set up for you by the Syrian government?
Residents there who explained that no such attack had ever occurred.
Yeah. I was able to just wander around, talk to anybody.
The mainstream media never covered that report.
Well, first of all, you're on OAN, don't they? Isn't it their report? And I got to say, I didn't watch it. I'm glad to go back and look at it, but you were mistaken or stupid or gullible or all of those things. I mean, you interviewed Carter Page.
Voting fraud is another ongoing story with OAN.
Oh, shit. I'm going to need my... Hold on. Yes, it's such a real thing. It's so amazing. Oh, boy.
And reporting on the mountains of evidence of election interference that no other network will touch.
Right, because if they get sued, they could actually lose money, but you're broke, so they, even OAN makes so little money that even Dominion doesn't want to go after them.
And we've been doing that.
Nobody punches down that much.
For years. Going back to the 2017 election in Alabama, where out of the blue...
Oh, wait, when Trump was president?
Judge Roy Moore was accused of sexual assault by some random women who waited until just days before the election to come forward after remaining silent about the incidents for over 40 years.
Yeah, that doesn't mean she's lying. That just means the dude has run this little fiefdom in that area and they were scared of him. But once he went national, then it would become the entire country's problem. So they put their fear to the side and felt heard for the first time. Huh? 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 Ah, brr. Ho. Ho. Huh? Chicks, am I right?
Mysteriously.
Only when women started to be able to talk about these things did women start to talk about these things. I knew it was a mistake.
After the election, all those accusations vanished, and the women...
No, they didn't.
...disappeared back into hiding.
I'm pretty sure they just lived their lives. They just came forward and told their truth. He's also gone. He's not in office.
Let's not forget the biggest, scariest story of all.
Oh, I probably forgot it. How could I not?
The dreaded China virus.
China virus?
For the last 3 years, you could have suffered in fear and doubt through the pandemic, terrified for your life as the mainstream media warned the sky was falling.
Nope, it's not a disease where the sky falls. I'm just saying. This wasn't like the Chicken Little flu, like a bird flu that turned out to be Chicken Little.
Or you could have watched OAN, where you would have learned
where you would have slept through the whole thing.
About the safe, proven treatments that have saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
And cost $1 million.
Like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine.
Yes, fish tank cleaner. Also, if you have worms, it's harder to fight off other diseases, so ivermectin will get rid of your worms. If ivermectin helped fix your COVID, then you had worms.
Medications the media claimed were for deworming horses.
They actually are for deworming horses. They also do that.
Warning, they will kill you.
Well, some people do die from it. It causes heart palpitations and tachyarrhythmia. And yeah, it's an issue.
It will kill you. I cannot stress enough. This will kill you.
Right. And a lot of people died because they did that instead of getting vaccinated.
Well, it won't kill you. That's
as long as you only lick it.
A lie. And we were the only ones sharing this life-saving information, which is backed up by numerous studies proving One America News was right all along.
No. Okay. So taking a certain amount of this because you've been prescribed it at a certain level is not going to kill you. It has adverse side effects, and if you don't need it and you're taking it for no fucking reason, it'll wipe you out. That's a very strong possibility. But it won't protect you from COVID.
When One America News tried to expose this, we were banned from YouTube for misinformation.
Right, which is a private company who has every right to do that because you can't broadcast anybody's show to dead people.
These are just a handful of the stories we've uncovered over the years, stories which never would have been brought to light were it not for OAN's dedication to reporting the truth.
Now, I got to tell you, it's all over fucking Telegram and BitChute and all these shitty side sites, and every QAnon fuckwad was pushing this stuff. We all heard all these stories, and we didn't hear them from OAN. I don't know why you think we need you for this.
Truth. This is why One America News is so crucial and what sets us apart from all the other networks on air today. Although it may not be popular, the truth rarely is.
Hey, man,
we have
wait.
Never back down.
Hang the fuck out, man. Listen here. I got to get in on some of this bald on bald action here, buddy. Listen, I was telling every fucking person I could at the Denver airport all during COVID, or as I called it, the woo-hoo flu. And everybody was running away from me while I was singing and riding around wearing my little rodeo outfit and trying to catch people's eye and get them to follow me down into the basement of the Denver airport where I had basically a warm, soupy container of melted ivermectin that you could lower yourself into like a vat. Like a vat. That's what you did. You just dipped yourself. It was like the big freedom vat. That's what you did. And that's what I did. And you didn't even know about it. Listen here, man. You OAN assholes were late to the party. And you didn't even bring snacks or offer to clean up.
Or shied away from reporting the facts.
Hey, listen here. I don't shy away from reporting anything. Facts, bullshit, nonsense, goofy side anecdotal stories that may or may not be true but are damn fucking interesting. God damn it. I'm not scared of all that. So only a wuss just does the facts.
Even if we had to do it alone.
Well, if you're doing it alone, it's called masturbation. So jerk off over there at OAN all you want to.
For One America News, I'm Pearson Sharp.
Pearson Sharp, man, that's I gotta tell you, buddy, that's a great name for a sidekick teenage kid on an 80s sitcom who eventually develops a smack habit. Remember, you guys remember what happened to Pearson Sharp? I think he did porn for a little while just to make ends meet. And then he did a porn movie called Making Ends Meet. And that was it. That was the last one. Nobody could watch it. It was the 2 baldies, 1 cup of porn. It didn't go well. I'm laughing, but I'm crying on the inside. Just remember that. Remember that. Piercing Shart. That's your name? Piercing Shart, everybody. Let's give it up. Give it up for Piercing Shart. I mean, a fucking professional. Ballpoint pen, apparently. A great newsman. If you like the kind of news no one watches. I got to get out of here. People are staring at me. Hi, everybody. Look at that. I hit 2 buttons at once. Yeah, Pearson Shart, I think, is going to be a new. He's a star, kids. He's a rising star. He's a guy. He's going to be great. So we're going to use him on the show. I can see it. He's got everything we need. He's full of shit. He's full of himself. What's not to like? He's fantastic. Shark Clap. That's the name of my new venture capital show. Shark Clap. The only thing he's missing is a criminal trial. That's true. He also doesn't seem to bother him that Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 decades, and also that at one point, I don't know why this doesn't bother him, but the whole Trump's bragging about the statute of limitations being the reason he got away with some of his shit. Or the pleading the fifth. Before, pre-Trump, that meant you were a criminal and probably a mobster. Now it means you're absolutely innocent and the deep state's out to get you. So, anyways, thanks to that guy for putting that out, because I had forgotten all about OAN, and I'm about to again. So to everybody at OAN, broadcasting from, I believe, a garage in San Diego, on a 2-bedroom place by the sea that they have obviously soundproofed fairly well, but I can still hear the occasional seagull and homeless guy shitting outside the place. Once a network. That's right, Mark. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Piercing Shart. It's going to be magic. It's going to be magic. And if he's ever able to beat that massive case of worms that he has, maybe one day he'll be able to, reach the big leagues. Maybe then people will start reporting on him, on those breaking pieces of news that he's basically, I guess, cribbing off of Roseanne's Twitter account and calling news. But anyways, the storm is coming, and cue something or other. And, the weird thing is these guys don't even know what to be afraid of. They don't know anything about the kidney. Do they? I didn't think so.
Q-snatch. I know words. I have the best words. An anonymous, really an anonymous criminal. Look, wait. Obama. I know words. I have the best words. They throw lots of hard objects, and rarely does anything happen. Deliberately, willful, and with total premedication. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. I know words. I have the best words. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple. The diversity lottery.
And God bless the United States.
Our Army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, combat infantrymen. I know words. I had the best words.
You know, we just set another stock rocket. You saw that, right?
To be a stank singer. I know words. I had the best words. 10,000 known or suspected gang members. I know words. I had the best words. Yesterday's a hard word for me. Very large a brain. Despite these obstacles, Karen. I know words. I had the best words. Despite these obstacles, Karen. Stank singer. I know words. I had the best words.
Defied the seat of dust. It's defiled, right?
They sacrifice every day for the furniture, future. I know words. I had the best words. I'm going to take such good care of women's health care issues, you won't even believe it. I know words. I had the best words. Real bipartisan solutions. No perverts. I know words. I had the best words. De-engineering. People want other people to stop shooting and knifing people to death. Action replays in magnified fortune. Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill. The Burmese executives. So this Burmesia, they say, pronounce it Burmesia. Burmesia. Free health care for illegal. When they gaze upon Yosemites. I know words. I had the best words. People coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup. Michigan gave us Motang. We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen. Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused. Michigan gave us Motang. Michigan gave us Motang. Yosemites, wildlife, refuges. I mean, you look at this, you look at what we do with our wildlife. Michigan gave us Motang. And you know, when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what? A lot of very bad things are happening in Nicaragua. If you get it in order, you get extra points. A lot of very bad things are happening in Nicaragua. Yosemites, bags of soup. Soup for my family. No, this is soup for my family. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting?
Lion dog face pony shoulder.